sunny in whatever in Mountainburg. So it's it's an odd geographical area. As much as they'd like to everything slowly moving to Northwest Arkansas, they still have to include the quote-unquote River Valley. And we sure thank them for that. Here we go, game number 2. And the Bulldogs, of course, will bat first here, 7 innings. And Cash Wilson's on the bump for the Airedales here in game 2, a right-handed pitcher.
He was the third baseman in game 1. So defensively, there's some changes for Alma.
Well, I know that Daly's over at first base here. He was DH, and so he's at first base. And the first one to Holt's a called strike.
Sounded like off speed. I didn't see it. Maybe, I think it was a little slower.
And then Driscoll's over at third in game 2. That's upstairs, 1-1.
And since they did switch, you're probably going to see a different zone. Pitchers and players both. It's crazy, but in high school you definitely have to adjust in between games.
The second baseman is new for Alma. He did not play in the first game. And that's outside a little low, maybe 2-1 now to Doc Holt.
This is what you want as a leadoff hitter. You want to see pitches. You want to be able to come back to your dugout and say, okay, this is what we've seen, and make them work. Don't swing and get an out on the first pitch.
Hopefully it'll be a minute before he gets back to the dugout. Here's a 2-1 to Dawson Holt. This is in the air and slicing foul out of play right side. 2-2 now.
And we see Daly move to first base, went from DH to first base.
Curd's out and right again. Spain's in center, I'm certain.
The pitcher's out at left, who started in game 1. He's out in left.
Okay, that's Likens, Noah Likens. Here's a 2-2 to Dawson Holt. And he fouls that one out. Just got a piece of it. Stayed alive.
You can see pitches.
Same catcher is Bowerman, Avery Bowerman. So our mystery player is at second base right now. We'll get him shortly. He's number 2, I believe. Brogan's at short, by the way. Again for Alma. Here's a 2-2 to Dawson Holt. He'll be at second base for Greenwood. Off speed, reached out to the shortstop, booted by Brogan. Up with it, and just in time by half a step. 4-3 or 6-3 on the put out. There's one down.
Well, he was playing that in the middle of the dirt. He wasn't back deep. He wasn't up in. He was just about halfway and gave himself time because he bobbled the ball at first and was able to still throw him out. That's just right. Because he was playing in.
Yeah, he's playing back. He beats that.
Greenwood shortstop Harrison Adams now will give it a shot. Right-handed bat. And Wilson up on top for the Airedales. Comes set and kicks him home and foul back over the top. Strike 1 to Harrison Adams. Just about everybody had 2 hits in game 1 for Greenwood. Adams had a triple in there as well, scored 3 times.
When's the last time we've had 2 triples in a game?
I don't recall. Probably Payday did it. The ice cream man
by
played
himself.
It himself. Yeah, right. Speaking of that, he's in the house tonight. Made a cameo. The pitcher steps off, and Adams backs out. Wilson's ready up top for the Airedales. Greenwood in their navy tops, white trousers. Airedales gold tops, white trousers. Upstairs, 1-1 now to Harrison Adams. Airedales in cursive green on their jerseys. Bulldogs in cursive blue with white trim. White numerals for Greenwood. Off speeds upstairs, 2-1. Green numerals front and back for the Airedales. 1 out here at the top of the first. Greenwood won game 1, 13-5. Stayed on pace with Greenbrier at 11-0 in conference as they beat Mountain home. As Adams rips one to right field. Curd went out a second, but came in and makes the catch for out number 2. And Greenwood and Greenbrier on a collision course possibly next week at Greenwood in the final doubleheader of conference play. Both can come in 12-0, and for all the marbles, it should be electric if the Bulldogs can take care of business here in Game 2. And here's Grant Carnes now. He is our pitcher in Game 2 and looks at ball 1.
Well, you say they're on pace for a collision course. It's going to happen whether or not.
Certainly.
The goal is that both teams come in at 12-0.
At least one of them. Mountain Home, I think, is probably starting that Ducker guy, their first baseman. I think that was his name. I didn't get a lineup last week, but he was pretty decent for him in Game 2 against Greenwood. Here's the 1-0. Low, 2-0 now to Grant Carnes. Pettigrew out on deck if Carnes can extend the at-bat. Carnes does a little gardening there in the right-hander's batter's box. He's ready. Sliding glove in the back pocket. Hopefully he'll get to wear that thing. Wilson's up on top. Here it is. Carnes swings and misses. Good pitch. 2-1 now.
Softball up 14-0. Headed to the bottom of the fifth.
Beautiful. Coach Donald Hart, maiden voyage with the Lady Bulldogs, doing a marvelous job. In there for a called strike, 2-2. He and Coach Posh's assistant, first year for him too over there. That's a lot of softball knowledge between those two. 2-2 now. Carnes have to protect. Off speed, just reached out and tapped it foul back here to the fence. Brand new ball for Game 2 here.
Nice pearl.
Yeah, and sometimes it's an art to foul off a ball like that and get another pitch. You know, it probably wasn't going to be a strike, but he was already full and started his swing, so just foul it off and get another pitch.
Here comes the 2-2 again from Wilson. And Carnes chops it up the middle. Shortstop Brogan, nice play. He'll throw over. Carnes beat it. Ooh. Bang, bang again. Nice play from Brogan to get the speedy Carnes. They went in order, 1, 2, 3 for Greenwood. No scorer in the top half. Alma coming to bat here in the bottom of the first.
Well, in Greenwood, you knew with a different pitcher, they're going to have to make some adjustments and stuff. Hopefully Carnes will do what he's been doing, and that's just going out and throwing strikes. I mean, we talked about this before. He's a pitcher. I mean, when he gets on that mound, he doesn't just throw it. He mixes up his timing. He messes with the batter's timing. He can go off-speed fastball. He pitches when he's out there. He's fun to watch out there. Defense got to play behind him. See if you can keep Alma from putting the ball in play as many times as he did the last game.
Grant Carnes 6-0 on the season, a 1.91 ERA. Leads the team in strikeouts. He's got a 58 on the season. Let's see, Kennan has 47. He had 7 in the last game, so he's at 54. Yeah, so Carnes still with the most 40 and a third innings pitched. 11 earned runs, 9 walks to 58 Ks. Pretty good number there for Grant Carnes, a sophomore phenom for the Bulldogs up on top. I want to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield. Proud to support Greenwood Athletics. Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield. 928-5516. When it comes to big hits, they love it when it's the Bulldogs baseball team, not when it's your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop, 928-5516 in Mansfield. ABC Signs and Printings, Adams Health and Wellness, J&H Automation Engineering, Top Notch Roofing, Craig Gigerich State Farm Insurance, MSG Waste Services, Scott M. Branton Architects. Thank you to all of our Grand Slam sponsors. Carnes about ready to go here.
Well, and you knew you can't just get hits every at bat, and you know with Greenwood and Alma both, you may see the complete opposite type of game where instead of scoring a bunch of runs in spurts, it may take both teams a little bit to get started.
Axel Spain is going to be their leadoff again here in Game 2.
I know I looked at their posters. He's a senior. Wilson's a senior. Lycan's a senior. And they had 3 more that I can tell you their names. Nesbitt's a senior. So they got a good group of seniors and a great group of young kids behind them. So these seniors want to finish up strong.
Here's Carnes. First one in there for a called strike.
And I don't know where they're standing right now. Do they need to win this? Or
yeah, because Van Buren's 5-5 coming in. They were 4-6. I guess they might play the final doubleheader next week. That's kind of, I would see how they would play. I guess a scheduled shakeout. So if they lose these two, let's say they're going to go 4-8, there's no way they can catch them.
Gotcha.
Unless Van Buren loses 2, then it'd be a different story. Strike call, 1-2 now to Axel Spain. Carnes up on top for the Bulldogs. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed bat here. Leading off for the Airedale. Their center fielder. And Carnes kicks and fires. Ripped to the shortstop. Adams gobbles it up.
Oh,
Low throw. Pettigrew couldn't dig it out. Spain will reach on the air.
Well, in that one, it looked like he kind of snow-coned it in his glove when he.
It was almost in his palm.
It was in his palm.
Yeah,
that's right. He didn't really saw it. He may not have got a good grip on it. Usually he's pretty money throwing from over there. Pettigrew couldn't come up with a short hop. Runner at first.
Here's Brogan now, their shortstop. Carnes up on top from a little stretch now. He'll come set and bring it home. And Brogan was squaring a bunt. That ball got by Hosley and it'll go to the backstop, and it's going to let Spain get to second.
Hey, Pat, join us. Here it comes. Get it out.
Likens out on deck for Alma. Here's Brogan now, waiting on the 1-0 from Carnes. Runner in scoring position now for Alma. And that was fouled up over the top out of play, 1-1. Ominous clouds rolling in. It's getting chilly here.
Alma going up there swinging and taking a hack. That ball hit off Carnes was hit hard.
Well, that's the deal. We're throwing a lot of strikes. Fire away. Pettigrew's up on the grass at first base. Here's the 1-1. Nobody out. Bottom of the first, no score. Airedale's batting. Upstairs with the off speed. 2-1. 62 degrees at first pitch.
Balmy, 62.
Yes, right.
It's dropped a few degrees since the start of the first game.
And it was a ball. 3-1.
The sun ran away.
Yeah, no doubt. These clouds rolled in. No bueno. Wind still blowing left to right across the field about 10 miles an hour. Here's the 3-1 to Brogan. Fouls that one back out of play. Good pitch.
There may be some vehicles out there need to go see Duck's Automotive.
Right. No, hopefully not mine.
Softball won 15-0.
Spectacular. Back-to-back run roll victories over there for Donald Hart and the Lady Bulldogs softball team. Take care of business against the teams you're supposed to. Here's the 3-2. He bounced it in at the walk. Spain's going to move over to third on the ball. Kind of got loose. So now runners at the corners for Noah Likens.
So when your runners at the corners, make your call what you do defensively. Obviously, if they try to steal second.
We teach the second baseman to just read it. He comes in either way, so that way you know the catcher comes through throwing through. The second baseman's job to read this guy on third. If he's moving towards home, you cut, throw it to third, and if he doesn't, you fake the throw out of the air, and the guy catches it and tags him at shortstop.
They throw over,
Oh,
and he was going to be dead meat, but Pettigrew couldn't keep a squeeze over there.
His feet is so quick. Carnes just goes, everything he does is just quick.
Beautiful move to first. Noah Likens, left-handed bat. He pitched in game one. He's in left field here in game two. Airedale's in business here with no outs, bottom of the first, and runners at the corners. Called strike. It's gas.
It would have been a different game if that pitch was called a strike the last game because he wasn't giving the knee pitch. He was making you throw it, and if the pitchers get those pitches today, it's gonna be a pitcher's duel.
Carnes up top. Throws over, and the ball got away. Knew that was going to happen. Went to the well one too many times. Spain will score easy. Brogan up to second.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do about that. It actually looked like it kind of went under the runner diving back.
Yep, certainly did.
And when that happens, Pettigrew's just handcuffed. There's nothing he can do to stop that ball.
Nope.
Except just turn and go.
Go get, yeah, right. That's it. Up on top, one strike count. Likens swings the bat, left-handed narrow stance, and swings and misses. He kind of, what do you call that? Waves the bat around over that left shoulder. 0-2 down. See if Carnes can minimize the damage here and get these batters. Daly out on deck for Alma. 0-2. One peek out there to the runner at second. and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Noah Likens. Brogan gets his lead out at second. Adams in there behind him, deaking him a bit. Greenwood shortstop. And Carnes comes home. Inside. 2-2. You hear Coach Brewer tell him he's got to settle in. That's correct.
And when he's missing glove side, it's usually a mechanical thing. It's nothing mental. It's just that something mechanically is making his body go that direction.
Here's a 2-2. There's a shot to Pettigrew. He couldn't field it. And that's gone to, they're going to hold up the runner. Holt went and got it. Tough one there, Keith. I've been giving hits all day, but that one hit his glove, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, but he's moving away from him.
Yeah, it was still a hit, I think. It would have been a good play. It wasn't a normal play. It would have been a good play.
So, again, runners at the corners. 1 across already. Here's Daly.
If you ask Pettigrew, he'd probably say that he wanted to and should have made it, but it's baseball. I mean, you can't make every play.
Right. And Coach Brewer's going to head out to the mound and discuss things with his boys.
Well, we've seen him touch up Kennan with more hits than we've seen any other conference. And when this is probably the hardest we've seen Carnes get hit, where they've hit the ball hard.
No doubt about it, Keith. I'll agree with that. We haven't seen any team getting this much wood on the ball off of Aiden and Carnes.
No, that's a credit to Coach Fry. Whatever he does, and I won't pretend to know what every high school coach does, but they have to do something to affect change in their batters to adjust from, we've seen Harrison pitchers that are throwing 65, and then you face a kid from Siloam throwing 82. There's a big difference there. You've got to be able to adjust to hit all those, and Alma's done a great job of adjusting to I thought Carnes would just be overpowering. He has been with 90% of the guys he's faced in our conference, but Alma's putting the ball in play hard. And you got somebody that, with Daly that's hit the ball hard the last game.
Yeah, Austin had to do a lot of running.
Yes.
Austin Mitchell.
Here's Easton Daly now. He's their first baseman in game 2, right-handed bat. Runners at the corners. That's upstairs, ball 1.
Well, I've watched Daly for a long time, and probably the only hole he has is the inside fastball. Anything over the plate is just, if he gets those arms extended and uses those legs, it goes.
1 ball count. Carnes from the stretch comes set for Greenwood. He'll come home. That's in the dirt. Hosley, again, good job blocking.
And what's big about that, he keeps the runner at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the runner at third that you're looking at, but our double play stays in order.
Ominous clouds continue to roll in. And here's the 2-0 in the air. It's going to be an out. Adams will drift back behind second base, and Harrison finds it. And they fake the tag. So a big out there getting Daly. Here's Camden Curd now, their right fielder.
Good job of getting behind the ball. You talked earlier about the outfield. He did a good job of getting behind the ball, catch it moving in case he did tag, but he knew he was just deking and not going anywhere. Did a good job coming into the infield, calling time, getting everything stopped.
So Camden Curd, he's in right field today. Left-handed bat. 1 out here, 1 across already for Alma. Still runners at the corners. See if we can find the double play here. And there's the one, but he got into the hole. Nothing you can do there. Good piece of hitting from Curd. It's an RBI.
Just hit it where they aren't.
That's right.
That's what we talked about in game 1. And, I mean, they're not, they call them senile singles, I guess is what people call them.
I definitely think he was out in front of that pitch, hit that ball at the end of the bat. But like you said, if no one's there, it's a hit.
Here's Nathan Mackin.
He's a senior as well.
2-0 Airedales. First and second, 1 out. Carnes kicks and fires. In there. That's what I thought. Called outside ball. Wow.
I didn't say one word.
1 ball to Nathan Macon. one out. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Alma. Swing and a miss.
You know, it's an effect, though, and I'm sure Dr. Smith would agree. It's an effect of what's going on with the umpires and stuff, that you get guys that just don't have the experience, and it's the bed that everybody's made.
Called strike.
Would you
1 and
agree?
2.
I mean, it's
There's not many out there, and they're begging guys to come in and start. Sometimes you have to throw guys that don't have a lot of experience into a huge conference game like this. That's normally, like in basketball, you start with JV, junior high. You can they work their way up with experience to the big varsity games, but with the shortage, if you will, sometimes, and I don't know, this guy may be a 10-year veteran. I've never even seen him before, but as some of the softball players making their way over to the baseball game, to a huge sweep of the Lady Airedales. And Hostley's going to go out and talk to Carnes at the mound. 1 ball, 2 strike count. There's 1 out. 2-0 Airedales.
Well, Grant's a pitch away from getting out of this. I mean, a ground ball to somebody can get a double play, and you can limit this damage.
One strike away from getting this guy. A strikeout would be nice as well. Carnes is ready up top from the stretch, and he will come set. And here's the 1-2 to Macon. Upstairs, Hostley couldn't squeeze it. It goes to the backstop, and runners advance. Greenwood definitely out of sorts here in the bottom of the first. Second and third now. 2-2. Carnes would like to come with a strikeout here since the double play has been wiped away. Grant peers in and comes set. It's high.
just overthrowing.
Full count.
Got to stay within himself and try not to do everything. Just let the defense work behind him. Trust the defense. And he's just got to take a deep breath and relax and settle down.
Full count. There is a base open, but sure don't want to give up walks. Braden Driscoll's out on deck for Alma. Carnes brings it home. It's upstairs and he walked him. Yeah, they're loaded up. 2-0.
Now batting for the Airedales, number 12, Braden Driscoll.
Driscoll's bats seventh in the lineup for Alma. 2 runs across, 1 out. Easton was the only out, if you can believe that. Easton Daly. Base is loaded now, full of Airedales. Here's Driscoll. And Carnes comes home with it. Driscoll lifts this one to left. Skaggs is circling around, makes the grab, and they'll tag it third. The throw comes in. It's cut off. Nope, gets loose. And a good job of Haas to come back it up. But it's a sac fly. And 3-0.
The umpire, they're going to appeal that he left early. The umpire didn't look at it. They appealed to the guy in the field, the umpire in the field, and he said that's not my call. He has the catch. It's the umpire behind the plate that's got the tag at third, and they asked him, and he didn't act like he was even watching.
Well, he certainly wasn't, I'm sure. I like this from so he didn't leave early. That was the official call.
So
Worth a try. They announced number 2. I didn't get his name, so we'll try to get it in a minute. Runners at first and second for Alma. Right-handed bat. Carnes up on top. 3-0 Airedales. Swing and a miss. Reaching on an error was Spain. He scored. A walk was Brogan. He scored. A single from Likens. He scored. And there you have it. A single from Curd and a walk from Macon. They're on base. It's called strike. So Carnes in a 0-2, head 0-2. Limit some damage here.
sometimes we forget that Karn's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a growing experience when you're a growing up opportunity, I guess
Sure.
is the way you can phrase it.
That's a good point.
Face some adversity here. And
Yeah. And we've seen him start slow before and then just go bananas. Outside, 1 and 2 now.
McCarn's already at 30 pitches. That's what's tough.
Ouch.
In one inning, you're at 30 pitches. That's
Yeah,
tough.
and we've talked about it, Keith, the strikeout thrower. It doesn't mean short pitches. You're going to see him get 11, 12, 13, even with strikeouts. Carnes up on top. Here's the 1-2. It's in the air. Can Pettigrew find it? He's got it called. He's drawn the bead and makes the catch at first base. And that'll do it for the Airedales, but they certainly did the damage.
3 runs on 1 hit and 3 errors is what they said.
Wow. 3 errors.
They say
I guess-
1 hit and 3 errors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they gave Pettigrew an error.
They gave him an error on the
I
one,
don't believe that.
and I don't know what the other error would have been.
Usually the home team's the opposite.
The
Usually-
throw,
The throw would have been an error. Either the throw or the scoop, however you rule that on the leadoff
Yeah.
single.
and then they're going to say the error on the backhand, which I give that a hit, but that's just me.
So Harrison, Pettigrew, where's
And then the
third?
throw over to first.
Throw over to first,
when he
yes.
threw it.
pick,
Yeah,
on
the
the
pick.
pick.
Yeah, okay.
But we knew Green was going to have to score anyway. Now we just, instead of scoring 1, you're going to have to score 3 to at least affect a tie. But, it's up to Greenwood. Greenwood's going to have to hit the ball. We've said that since the very first start of the year. They start off slow. Then to win conference, it's the team that's going to hit the best in the conference game. So now you start with Pettigrew, and he's been hot, and he just needs to get things started right now. And we don't try to get all 3 back in 1 inning. This is my math, but if you
Here we
hold
go.
them. You hold them to 0 runs the rest of the game, and you score 1 an inning, you win 6-3.
That's right. Since 1978, Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction has been in business here in Greenwood. Licensed and insured. 479-831-9309. Ronnie Terry, a member of the 1972 state finalist baseball team, the Greenwood Bulldogs, and a proud sponsor of Greenwood Baseball. 479-831-9309. Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction since 1978. All right, Pettigrew, Skaggs, Bashir here in the top of the second. Nobody panicking. A lot of baseball left here in game 2. Cash Wilson back up on top for the Airedales.
Here's the beauty of baseball. You get to flush innings. So you can pretend that inning never happened, and then you just go back with your offensive approach and keep chopping away at this.
And Pettigrew first pitch swinging. That's a shot to center and got down. It'll be extra bases. Spain gave it a good run, but he couldn't even get to it.
No,
And
he
the
had
Dogs
been
are off
hard.
and running.
And to piggyback on what Doc said, that's the key phrase is flush it. I mean, to be good at anything, you're going to have bad at bats, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to have bad innings, but you flush it and you move on. Pettigrew obviously has already flushed it. He's moved on. He's moved on all the way to second base.
He's worn out, that left center and right center tonight.
And that's your best hitters go from the flagpole to the opposite spot in the right center gap, and Pettigrew lives there.
Skaggs coming out first pitch swinging, fouls this one over the top. Strike 1.
Well, here's what I like to see, the aggression at the plate. Be aggressive. I mean, again, you're not getting all 3 runs back right here. Best you can do is 2. But just have a great approach at the plate.
That's right. Agreed.
Wilson checks on Pettigrew off speed. Skaggs did a good job. Didn't get a bat on that. It had fooled him.
Well, the hitters are going to get to pick up the curveball because he slows his body down and changes his arm angle to throw a 12-6 curveball. So when you watch him when he comes over, he'll tilt his body. Fastball is going to come a fast motion. You'll be able to pick it up. And as soon as these hitters do that.
Another one fouled out of play from Skaggs. Great point, Keith.
Because I noticed when he threw that curveball, he slowed down. He kind of tilted to make sure he got on top of it to throw that 12-6 curveball.
Bashir out on deck. Leadoff double for Pettigrew. Here's Skaggs, an 0-2 count. Braden swinging the hottest bat. That one's in the air. Will they get in the danger zone? And may do it. Second base on the run. It's down for a single.
Perfectly placed.
Oh, baby.
And I don't know if you saw this, but Pettigrew was going on the hit. And if they catch that, he's in trouble because he was breaking on the hit.
Oh, no, his speed would have got him back.
First and third. Now
That's a
for
great
Greenwood.
read, though, because either Brewer or him being able to say that ball's going to be down, because that's in that Bermuda Triangle, as they call it, no man's land, if you will, and that ball was perfectly placed right inside the foul line.
Well,
Or is that the fair line?
that's the
Foul
fair
line.
Well, is it Phil Ellison that has a problem with him and Bubba Carpenter over the fair pole or foul pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a foul
It's
pole.
a fair pole.
It's in fair territory.
Foul.
It's a fair line, too. But
It marks the beginning of foul territory.
if you hit on the line, it is fair.
Fair ball.
Swing and a miss from
Oh,
Bashir.
I bet he wishes he had that one back.
Yep.
Give you some stats on Wilson. He's thrown 34 innings. He's got a 6.18 ERA. He's given up 36 hits in 34 innings, 35 walks, and 42 Ks. 42 Ks is pretty impressive.
Bashir now ready. 0-1 count. Runners at first and third. Greenwood rallying here in the top of the second, trying to erase this 3-0 deficit they're in. We're just in the top of the second. They throw to third, look back to first, or look to third, and fake to first.
Skaggs may have been over there like, I'm a safety. I don't fall for the ball fakes.
I hope he doesn't next year.
Not going to fall for the banana and the teleport.
All right, Wilson, here he comes home. There goes the runner. Bashir's hit is up, and it's in the air a mile. And the pitcher took over. Rarely see that, but Wilson took over as Skaggs scampered back.
Yeah, it just wasn't deep enough.
They call it off the catcher, which is rare.
Well, high school is just different than college. In college and major leagues, your pitchers are not considered athletes. Now, Shawnee Ohtani
Shohei Ohtani.
would disagree with you, but in high school, it's usually your pitchers, your third baseman, or somebody else will let them go catch it.
There goes a runner, first movement. Kennan fouls that one back to
Skaggs
the
is
screen.
about run a mile right there between first and second as he's been.
Hey, I just like fast dogs over there, run 30 yards and come back.
Well, the other steal that Brewer will eventually, as we get better at base running, is the delay steal. It's so underutilized, but when you've got first and third situation, it's just so easy to use. You saw that against Tennessee. Tennessee did that against Arkansas. They faked the step off the back, throw it to first, except when they threw it to third, they threw it to left field.
Fake the throw to first, and Wilson's back up on top. There goes the runner. Kennan rips one through the hole. That's going to score one for sure. And Skaggs on his horse, he'll come over to third, and he'll stand in, no problem. Kennan will move up to second on the throw in, and the Bulldogs are in business.
Excellent job of treating it like a hit and run, where the shortstop vacated his spot to go cover the bag. Aiden found the hole, and of course with Skaggs on the run, never stopped, never slowed down, makes it to third easy. On the throw, Kennan moves up, great base running, great piece of hitting. Greenwood's back in this.
And you see just a little difference in the energy of the third base dugout here in this inning. It seems like the Bulldogs have woken up a little bit, if you will.
Here's Austin Bircher now. He's in right field for us in game two. 3-1 now. Bulldogs in business. 1 out rally in progress. Kennan over at second, moved up on the throw. An RBI single for the daddy. And Bircher looks at the called strike.
Corners in here for Alma as well. Trying to cut down the runner at home for sure.
They're going to at least keep him from going, because he can. And Skaggs has got to know, and we haven't always been great at the ball hit hard to third baseman. He's got to freeze, and he can't just take off.
Breaking ball. It's a shot to short, gobbled. Run will score out at first, but it's an RBI for Birch.
We'll take it.
Yeah, you just keep chopping away, and we just chip away and add runs where you can. And Mitchell gets a chance here. He can get a base hit, and we can draw even here, and it's like a brand new ball game.
Yes.
That was Kennan's 6th RBI a while ago for Bircher. That is his 10th RBI, so he's in double figures. Here's Mitchell. Watches one bounce in. Kennan moved over to third, by the way. He's our DH here in game two.
Good block by the catcher, Alma catcher.
When we talk about a hit, a pass ball obviously would give an opportunity to score as well.
It's 3-2 now. Bulldogs have cut it to 1. Wilson brings it home. Off speed, called strike. 1-1. Boy, that's one you'd like to see. What, they hang it, you bang it?
Hang it,
That's
yep. And in the 12-6, as slow as he throws it, it's you can make that adjustment.
Fastball's lifted up in the air and out of play.
And hit a car.
Man, almost hit the lights. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It hit 2 on the bounce.
Yeah, good.
And that car was leaving, and it got hit.
Ouch. Austin Mitchell pitched a 6-hit innings of no-hit baseball at Bentonville last Friday. He's feeling good about his game right now. This ball's in the air. It's in play. Curd will look for it from right field again in the no man, and it fell harmlessly as no one took it. And Mitchell's going to have a double out of this and an RBI. Oh, baby!
Well, that's what you like to see. You're running hard out of the box. You never assume the out. You don't do that offensively for sure. And Mitchell was picking them up and putting them down and he had double on his mind when that ball left the bat.
That's exactly right. Great job of Mitchell. You could easily say, he got pinch hit for the last game. You could easily say, I just popped it up. That's an out. He did not. He said that's a double.
3-3 now. Back to the top of the order. Here's Doc Holt now. He grounded out to short to start the ball game. And Dawson getting a second chance here in as many innings. And the first one's upstairs. Little chin music. Ball 1.
Awful close to balk and kind of went right through that.
Haven't given us our run yet. We're tied at 3.
They'll get there.
Wilson brings it home. And this is ripped by Holt to center, but right to the center fielder. Wow. And Spain was waiting on it. But the damage was done by the Bulldogs as they had 3 runs across on 1, 2, 3 hits. We're tied at 3 here. We go to the bottom of the second inning. We'll take a quick break. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5.
Hey, nice barrel, Doc.
Minute.
The guy hadn't played there all game. He's been in right center.
Right.
I'm telling you.
I just had total? No. Mitchell had a hit. Kennan had a hit. Pettigrew had a hit. I just got 3. Yep. Yeah. Let's go, Grant. Let's go.
33 pitches for Wilson. Which that's got to spark Carnes. I mean, you said it, Carnes. If anybody can start over, readjust, and flush it, it's Carnes.
Okay.
Check 10.
We welcome you back to the spinach capital of the world, Alma, Arkansas. Bulldog baseball. Greenwood with a crooked number in the top of the second. They tied this game at 3 here. They'll put 3 on them in the first. Grant Carnes now should settle in here. Has some run support. We're back to zeros, basically.
Well, Dr. Smith talked about it in the first game. How important was it that when Alma scored a big inning, we came back and answered, and that was huge. They scored 3, top of the next inning, we answer. That's huge for both sets of psyches in the dugouts.
Well, now this is where you answer now. Alma had their 3-run inning in the first. Now you just shut the door here.
This is their 9-hole. Their catcher swinging and fouls it straight back. Avery Bowerman. Strike 1. Right-handed bat.
He didn't hit last game, did he?
No, he didn't.
No. Carnes up on top, the sophomore righty. 3 runs in the first swing and tried to check it up and couldn't. Just kind of swung through, fooled him a bit. 0-2 now to Bowerman. Be nice to see a 1-2-3 inning here from Grant. He'll kick and fire. And time was called. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, the batter asked for time, and Carnes was letting it fly in the windup. And Coach Brewer's mad because what happens is the pitcher will try to hold up and is risking an arm injury, stopping him in the middle of his windup. It was an error on the blue, to be honest with you. He shouldn't have.
Man, he's apologized. The umpire's apologizing, but it doesn't.
Tough. Still an 0-2 count.
When as a pitcher, once you get to that point, you just let it fly. You still throw it.
Right.
You don't stop or change anything. Otherwise, that's where you'll get hurt.
Here's the 0-2. And that's in there for a called strike backwards K. Well, that'll do it.
Well, and that's what you're supposed to do. Whenever that happens is come back and throw a fastball for a strike.
Top of the order, here's Axel Spain now. Reached on an error, scored a run in the first.
Well, he hit it hard in the first, though, didn't he? Was
The
he the
shot
one?
to the short.
Yes, he
Yeah.
hit it hard.
I didn't see Grant between innings or at the bottom half of that, or the top half of the second, but I know the competitor he is, and there's nobody more upset than number 3 over here in the dugout, I promise you.
And he got fooled Spain there on some off-speed stuff. He swung through. It's 0-1 now. Carnes up on top, changing the wind up a bit, Keith. That's high and tight. Ball 1.
And you talked about it in first inning. It's mechanical adjustment, just figuring out if that ball is rising high, obviously releasing a little too soon.
That's exactly right.
Here's a 1-1 from Carnes. Plunked him. Ouch. That smarts. I heard that from here.
Well, again, you flush it, throw something at the knees, get a ground ball, turn 2, and we're back in hitting. You've got 1 out. Ground ball's your best friend right here.
Brogan walked his first time up, scored a run. Right-handed batting shortstop. And a called strike. Well, the pitches look a little more crisp than the first inning, obviously, but the hit by pitch is throwing out my perfection I was looking for. Maybe a double play will get it to where he can face the minimum here in the second. That one bounced in. Hosley knocked it down, but to no avail. And Spain's going to move over to second. It actually bounced off the home plate blue, I think. 1-1. A strikeout for Carnes is the only out here in the bottom of the second. Alma's got a runner over in scoring position. We're tied at 3 here, Greenwood and Alma. Game 2 of this twin bill. Huge game for Greenwood to stay atop the 5A West. That ball's ripped in the 5-6 hole. Hit hard enough to Skaggs. They're going to hold him up at third, and it'll be runners at the corners for the Airedales. And a single in that same spot we've seen all afternoon, all evening, guys. 5-6 hole.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he turned that ball around quick.
Yep.
He's seen it well, obviously.
Here's Likens now. He's their left fielder. Singled his first time up, scored a run.
Do you want to know the score in the middle of the 4th, Mountain Home and Greenbrier?
I do.
It's 4-0 Mountain Home.
Wow, nice. Go Bombers. Likens now for Alma. First pitch swinging's in the air. It's out of play. And it'll be strike 1.
Well, you called that early.
Yep. No problem. I could tell that. I got decent depth perception, but I don't have any
Reflexes?
I got good reflexes. What is it called? I don't have any cajoles. I duck and cover too quick. Here's the 0-1 to Noah Likens. Carnes up on top of runners at the corners. Just inside. Hosley's chased it down and kept it in play here and kept the runners at bay.
But if you're wondering that Zanistowski, the best pitcher for Mountain Home, threw in game 1, Ducker, the pitcher that pitched second against us, is actually throwing in game 2.
I knew that's how they do it. Same thing they did to us. Here's Carnes now, the 1-1. And it comes home. This ball's in the air as Mitchell finds it in center. They'll tag at third, and he'll score on the sacrifice. Out number 2, though. Airedale's back on top 4-3.
It's going to be which team answers the best and which team keeps the other team from answering.
Here's Daly again. He flied out to the shortstop for the first out in inning number 1.
You remember a big hit in the game 1. He went right center gap.
Yep.
He did.
Yes.
Again, it's hard for him to get to that inside fastball. When you get him out over the plate, his hands are so quick, he can go with it.
And now Field Ump's coming up talking to Carnes, and Coach Brewer's wanting to know what the discussion's about. Oh, going to his mouth.
Yeah, and then not wiping it off.
Gotcha. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, 4-3 Airedales. Here's Daly now for Alma. Runner at first, and just missed ball 1.
I think we've got Scherzer's rosin bag on order.
Wow.
He's got 10 games to think that one through.
Right.
He does.
But no appeal either. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Take your licks and go. Here's the 1-0. A little low, I guess. 2-0. Curd out on deck. He's been a killer today for Alma. Carnes from the stretch. He'll come set up top. Brogan with a lead at first, and he'll come home with it. And Daly rips this one. Skaggs on his horse. He's back towards the fence. And Mitchell makes a catch. Oh, my gosh. Mitchell with a wild Willie Mays catch over the shoulder. He's out. What a catch from Austin Mitchell against the fence out there. Oh, baby. A highlight reel catch from Mitchell out in left center. My goodness gracious.
I don't know what the distance is out there in left center, but where he caught that ball is 360 straight away, but he was running.
Field, yeah.
He was running full bore trying to catch that ball, and the wind may have aided it because it pushed it back towards him just a little bit. But you said it's an incredible catch. Ran 1 foot right before the fence.
Boom, into the fence. Awesome job.
One hit, one run, one man left on base for the Airedales, and Mitchell with a highlight reel saving catch and limits the damage 4-3 Airedales after 2.
You and I have talked about this. His freshman year, we thought, well, he's going to be a pitcher.
Yep.
You know, he's a pitcher. He can do this. He slowly turned into, Ty said it the other day. He said 75% of the earth is covered by water. The other 25% is covered by Austin Mitchell.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Fantastic.
Well, I can tell you who doesn't like to see number 8, and that's our opponents next week because he pitched Jim against him last year and then threw 2 guys out at third and home last year,
that's
if
right.
I remember correctly. But Austin Mitchell can cover some ground out there. You see the athleticism, and I thought it was going towards Skaggs.
I did too. I was watching Skaggs the whole way on the run. Never even gave Mitchell a chance. Great play for Skaggs. A highlight reel. I don't know if Buffkin's camera will go down at that angle.
Oh, we got it. Sean got it and
nice.
Showed the fence didn't give.
Fantastic.
What an incredible catch.
If you're listening in, you can find that thing online tonight. It's highlight magical Sports Center catch.
Well, here's the deal. You have total disregard, and as an outfielder, the first thing you do is you check behind you. You know how much room you have to run. It seemed like he ran for days.
And the communication's also from Skaggs and left. Hey, you got room, and you're closing your gap, and you start talking about steps, and you hear that. But Austin had a beat on the ball, and he said, I'm going to just go get this and make a play. And that's what you want as a pitcher. You want your defense to make a play, and Austin Mitchell sure made a gem of one there.
You bet.
Cash Wilson back to work for the Airedales here. He'll have Adams, Carnes, and Pettigrew for Greenwood. And Adams looks at ball 1 outside. Flied out to right his first time up. Harrison Adams.
Credit for Daly because, you're talking about a freshman that hit it 358.
Yeah, if it's 360, I'm sure the gaps it's a little deeper, but.
Here comes the 1-0. Adams rips this one into center field for our leadoff single. And we're off and running again.
He's had a great approach at the plate tonight.
He has. And he said that's better balance from him. He stayed over his legs and drove the ball. Some of those balls we saw him hit the right, he was falling forward, but he did a great job. He's just a baseball player that knows how to make adjustments and does it.
But sometimes when that hit falls, it can spur you as an offensive player. You can start stringing some hits together, and he's done that tonight.
You bet. Well, he's been doing it. He did it at Bentonville. He's just been doing it.
Here's Carnes now. Looks at strike 1, the Greenwood pitcher. Adams with a big lead over at first base. Daly holding him on. Cash Wilson from the stretch for Alma up on top. Their pitcher righty-righty matchup here. Let's see if Carnes can get a hold of one. Off speed's fouled out of play, and he's in a 0-2 hole now over the right first base dugout.
Yeah, he just missed that. If he picked it up a little bit earlier, he catches it out front off the barrel. I thought he should have swung it. He was good. He was just a little bit late.
Leadoff single for Adams, 4-3 Alma. Greenwood trying to answer again. Carnes, a high chopper to third, gloved to second. Got the force there. Carnes will reach on the fielder's choice.
But a good play there, able to get an out. That's what you want to do, and the third baseman, I don't want to say takes a gamble, but you try to get that lead runner if you can. Keep the double play in order.
That's right.
It's Braden Driscoll.
Man, I see Tony Sandifer's speed there.
Yeah, he's got it.
I'm thinking that's a solid 8-9 or 9 flat 40.
Here's Pettigrew. High and tight, ball one.
And if anybody sees this baseball looking like a beach ball, it may be Pettigrew tonight. The way he's hit the baseball.
That's the way it looked to Tony Sandifer in his career, like a beach ball up there that guy could hit. Wilson's up on top for Alma. Here it comes. Called strike. Pettigrew kind of spit on that one on the way by.
I'll go get her. See if she's over there.
1-1. It's a ball. There goes to the Carnes. No chance to get the speedy Carnes. He'll swipe the bag. And now Pettigrew's got an RBI chance on the 2-1 count. One out here in the top of the third. Pettigrew waits on the 2-1 from Wilson. He'll throw, look back to Carnes. No throw. He'll scamper back in safely.
One out. Just need the answer here. Tied up. Keep answering.
Pettigrew's been hitting a ton of doubles this year. He's due right here. Oh, and a bad swing at that one was full. 2-2 now.
Yeah, that wasn't the normal Pettigrew swing we've seen. But he's one that's done a lot of his damage with 2 strikes.
That's right. That's a fact. Still a little breeze blowing straight across the field. 2-2. Off speed, foul out by Pettigrew. Good job to stay in there.
Yes, he hung it. And when I saw him gear up to swing, I thought we were going to see some fireworks.
Carnes out at second, reached on a fielder's choice, swiped the bag.
Everybody checking on Mitchell. Our thoughts are with him. He rattled his cage.
Swing, that ball was just tipped enough for him to stay alive. Skaggs out on deck. Wanting to get a chance here in the top of the third. Greenwood down 3-0, put 3 on in the second. Tied it up. Alma tallied 1 in the bottom. They're back up 4-3, and Greenwood's trying to get something going here with a runner at second and 1 out. Top of the third. Cash Wilson up on top, comes home. And Pettigrew checked it up. He's good.
Good job.
3-2.
Good credit to Patty Ann from Alma, the trainer, coming over and checking on Mitchell. She was at Arkansas Tech when we were there.
Yeah, Patty Webb. That's my girl.
That's right.
Absolutely. One of the best in the business. She's been in it around for a long time. Here's the full count to Pettigrew. Inside, and he walked him. Great at-bat for Pettigrew. Now first and second for the hot-hitting Braden Skaggs.
There's been a lot of balls both sides that have been barreled up hard this game.
And I don't have anything written down for Skaggs except for he scored a run. I'm not sure what he did his first at-bat. That's very strange. He didn't write anything. I'm trying to remember. Pettigrew had a double to lead off. Maybe we can get on your game check.
That dropped right behind first base, remember, because Pettigrew was running.
Fly ball to right center. Or right fielder, yep. It was the one to right field.
Okay, good. So that is 4 hits. I had that wrong. I told
what was that
wrong.
You said?
There was 4 hits.
You were wrong?
Yeah,
I was certainly wrong.
Had those words taste coming out of your mouth.
No, I've been wrong a lot. I'm married to, if you knew my wife, she'll tell you.
Greenwood has 5 now, right? 5
yes,
hits?
now 5 hits.
Right.
And that's upstairs, and it gets past the backstop. And now a runner's in scoring position, 2 of them, and Skaggs mouth watering even more now.
Well, instead of a runner at second and a base hit scoring 1, now the base hit scores 2.
Double plays out of order now. 2-0 is the count. Wilson in a little trouble now here for Alma, top of the third.
Top of the third, Wilson.
And Skaggs looks at one upstairs, 3-0.
Yep, Wilson's at 49 pitches, right at 50 pitches. So you got to think that the key for both of these teams is how's the bullpen going to do with both starting pitchers at high pitch counts. Whose bullpen's going to come out and do better?
Well, and give Bowerman credit. He walked out, gave a visit to the mound just to kind of calm down Wilson here at the. Just say, hey, you've thrown 3 out of the zone. Let's try to find one here. Chances are he's probably taken on the 3-0 count. Runners at second and third.
Well, and he also told him Pettigrew was still in the signs at second.
In there for a called strike. I don't know why. I kind of thought that Brewer might cut him loose right there. He's swinging a hot bat.
We need to ask him. I don't know what the rule is if Brewer has to either shut you down or just let you go. You
Right.
know?
Here's a 3-1. Foul back. See, and how many times does this happen when you taking all the way 3-0, you look at the strike, then you foul the next one, now it's full count and it's back.
But you have to have some sort. I mean, there has to be a trust, like you can't imagine that coach knows he's not going to swing at ball 4, and I mean you have to know that because you're turning him loose.
Well, I mean, if you think you said dead red BP pitching and hope he brings it. Good job right there. Skaggs fighting off a borderliner, staying alive.
You know, we talked about it when Coach Holloway was here, the 3-0.
Yeah.
He would let them go because he wanted to see how confident they were. He'd say, it's up to you. And then if they swung, he knew a hitter was up there being confident.
Right. We may be out of baseballs. We got one left. Wilson's ready for Alma. Greenwood's in a spot here to tie or take the lead. Let's see if Skaggs can get a bat on the ball.
Could you imagine if Alma did like Siloam Springs and gave away an ice cream for every foul ball, as small as this park is?
Wow.
There wouldn't be enough ice cream.
There was a ton of balls brought back over there to Siloam. I sure couldn't get my hands on any of them. I needed some of that ice cream. Here it is. He walked him. And then you got dogs on the pond now as Greenwood's loaded them up. And here's Weston Pashier. Popped out to the pitcher and foul ground his first time up, but he's been swinging a good bat as well. Scott Holland's going to come in and run for Carnes.
Courtesy runner. He's going to, so it's not going to be just a courtesy runner.
Yep,
for the pitcher.
Yep.
Which is smart. You don't want Carnes sliding into home and getting hurt.
Right.
So let Scotty do it.
I'm watching Patty Ann Webb work on Austin Mitchell here, and if Mitchell had my haircut, it'd be a lot easier to find the scratches on his head.
Did he hit his head?
Yeah, he ran into the fence, obviously, and I think some of that chain link
We're about to find out because he's about to be in the hole.
was not forgiving.
First one to Pashier's way upstairs, ball one.
Plus, if you ran into a fence, that netting, when your face scrapes across that netting, it kind of adds insult to injury.
Bases loaded for Greenwood. Big spot here with one out in the top of the third. Weston Pashier. Upstairs.
Well,
2-0.
Mitchie and I have the same haircut, only different.
Yes, it's
Right.
only different.
It's only different.
Kennon's out on deck. You know he's wanting to get a shot at it.
Hopefully he'll
Pashier.
be back.
The 2-0 count. Wilson up on top, comes home. Just tipped it by Pashier. 2-1. Bulldog dugout active. Cheering on Pashier, looking for anything in the grass, score a run to tie this thing up.
Well, you can't fake energy. Early in the year, it seemed like Greenwood was trying to fake the enthusiasm and that energy. And now they've gotten to the point where this is real energy. They fed off the other coaches, the volunteer. This is real energy.
Here's the 2-1. And it's outside 3-1 to Weston Pashier. No place to put him, guys. Got to come with a striker. This game's tied.
Well, be disciplined at the plate right here. Obviously, you're looking for one pitch, and Wilson's had a tough top of the third, so force him to throw it in the zone.
That's right.
Here it is. And it's swing and a miss from Pashier. Full count now.
And that's the beauty of the 3-1 count. You got another opportunity
Sure.
here. He's got to come back into the zone here.
You got to come with another strike. Your rider is still going to tie the game as we see some action heading towards the Alma bullpen. Got him. And Weston watched it go past. A good pitch and a backwards K. There's 2 down now. That changes everything. And Aiden Kennon, he RBI single his first time up. Came around to score a run.
Well, now as a base runner, you anticipate the swing, and you're going to get a bigger jump because as soon as he starts to swing, you're making that little extra effort.
That ball's a mile high, but to the vacuum cleaner Kurd, who draws a bead and right, and he makes the catch, and the Bulldogs leave him loaded.
Lost opportunity there.
Had only one hit there. Left 3 on base. Middle of the third inning. Greenwood trailing 4-3. We want to tell you that this game is sponsored in part today by West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield. West Fraser, proud to support the Greenwood Bulldogs baseball team. Ducks Body Shop, they love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident or catch a foul ball off the quarter panel, call Doug's Body Shop in Mansfield, 479-928-5516. The place to go to get your ride looking right. Top Notch Roofing, Scott N. Branton, Architects. MSG Waste Services, Craig Gigerich, State Farm Insurance, J&H Automation Engineering, Adams Health and Wellness, and ABC Signs and Printings, our Grand Slam sponsors. We certainly appreciate all those folks helping out to get these broadcasts on the air and their support of Greenwood baseball. Carnes back out to work for Greenwood.
Mountain Home at Greenbrier. Greenbrier had 2 runners on, 1 out, didn't score, still 4-0.
Okay, Bircher's gone to center field now. Mitchell's out, and Scott Holland is checked in left field defensively for the Bulldogs. So that's going to probably be all for sure all for Mitchell tonight, as we hope he's okay. Probably just some, concussion protocol. We'll say. And so Camden Curd will dig in from the left side for the Airedales, leading 4-3 here over Greenwood, bottom of the third. Curd with an RBI single. And rips that one foul, pulled it towards the Airedales bullpen. Strike one. So we can move Bircher to center field and Holland will go to left. Carnes brings it. Nelson's chop foul into the Airedales dugout. Nearly got there. Hit the netting in front. 0-2 now to Camden Curd. Carnes way ahead. 4-3 Airedales, bottom of the third inning. Just underway here in this third inning, bottom half. Curd, the leadoff batter here, he bats in the 5 hole, and he swings and misses at that one, or he fouled it off his own foot. He's smarting a bit.
I don't know if did he foul it off or
no,
did he hit
I think
his foot
it just
straight?
hit his foot.
He hit his foot straight. They call that a back foot slider for that reason.
Right. Well, he swung as bad.
Oh, it's still a strike, yeah.
But it's strike 3. They say he got a piece of it? Okay. That's what we're going to go with. I didn't think he did. But
I couldn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it hit shoe. It sounded like it hit shoe.
So it'll be a foul ball officially. The 0-2 count to the left-handed batting right fielder. He's been fantastic out in right for him tonight. Carnes brings it. Fastball just missed outside. Good pitch.
Coming down.
Look alive there, Doc.
Yep. Haas checks the ghost runner. He's back to first. One ball, 2 strikes to Camden Curd. Carnes kicks and fires. And that was lifted to center. Bircher, freshly minted center fielder, and as we've talked about a million times, that ball will find you.
That's probably best. If Mitchell was out there, he may have seen 2 balls coming at him.
Yeah, right.
After hitting that fence as hard as he did.
So now Nathan Macon. I meant to check and see where he was in the field. Let's see. He's not pitching. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not at third.
I can tell you where he's at DH.
That's why he's not on my deal here. Okay, DH. Driscoll's at third, I believe, number 12. All right, I got my lineup now finally. This took me 3 innings. Called strike.
First time you're doing this radio thing.
Hey, and I forgot, if you'd have just asked, when they put it in Game Changer, they've got all their names
yeah, I like,
and positions. And
you like to guess a little?
Well, it's only the second Tuesday in a row I haven't gotten a lineup from the other team, but it's another story for another day. Here comes the 0-1. It's checked right back at us. Look at that. I was going after it. I had a good beat on that.
You did good.
Thank you. I got my blood boiling a little bit with the lineup card deal. Here's the 0-2 now. So I had all my reflexes. I was zoned in. Nathan Macon, their DH. Here's the 0-2. Carnes just reared back and threw heat. High cheese. and a strikeout, number 2 for Carnes. And there's 2 down. Here's Driscoll.
That's why they call a high fastball. It's at your eyes where it looks so pretty. It's just so hard to get your hands to it and hit it. It's effective.
Braden Driscoll, their third baseman, had a sac fly his first time up to left field. He's their third baseman. And the first one's inside, ball 1. Carnes up on top, trying to get settled in. Here's 4-3 Airedale's bottom of the third. 1 ball count, and here it is. Foul back into the fence, 1-1.
You know, Carnes at 55 pitches hasn't done bad. Only given up 3 hits with 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
Hit batter in there too.
Yep.
And hit batter in there. Hit Spain.
Been a couple errors behind him too that's affected the game. Here comes the 1-1, and it's too high. 2-1 now.
It's like Doc Smith said. You know, you got to remember he's a sophomore, right?
Sure.
You run him out there, he does so well. He looks so sharp. I mean, he's almost thrown a couple of no-hitters. You just can't expect that out of a 16 to 18-year-old kid every night.
Another one up high and tight. Double barrel action in the Airedale's bullpen. 2 righties getting loose out there. 3-1.
Because, Tim, you're aware of this. Even at your age, your body sometimes don't do what your mind wants it to.
That's right. Yeah, I get that a lot. And the 3-1 is fastball swung through by Driscoll, and the count's even. Carnes trying to get a 1-2-3 inning for the first time here in the nightcap.
Yeah,
It'd be a good time to do it.
There. That's
yeah,
right.
They've scored every inning so far. Here it comes from Carnes. Got him. Swing and a miss. Grant trying to get settled in, got the dugout fired up. Couple of strikeouts for Grant. That's 3 on the game for the Bulldogs. Greenwood will come to bat. It'll be Bircher, Holland, and then Holt. As we take a quick break here on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 if you got it. Thank you. Come on, Whistle Britches.
Duckers at 67 pitches for them. It's the end of the 5th. So hopefully they can keep him out there. He's been pretty effective. 5 Ks, 3 hits.
What's the score?
4-0 still.
And we are back. Cash Wilson back to work. Bircher will lead off for Greenwood. RBI ground out his first time up.
Now what Greenwood's got to do to answer this inning is they had the bases full, missed an opportunity there, but they're seeing the ball well, just not able to take advantage of that last inning. Hopefully Greenwood can get some things rolling here with the 8-9-1 spots in the lineup, and we know that Austin Mitchell is not in the lineup, so his spot will be taken, obviously, as we've rotated some guys around. Scott Holland will be in the batting lineup in the 9-hole, and then we'll try to turn it back over to the top.
Here's Bircher, and the first one's over but low for ball 1 to the Greenwood center fielder now.
I feel like Wilson's only at 61 pitches, but I feel like with them getting 2 guys up, they're on the after last inning, getting the base loaded, they're on the verge of pulling that trigger and maybe changing pitchers.
Bircher looks at ball 2 high.
So how many walks do you have last inning? Weren't a couple of those walks?
For us?
Did we have a couple?
Yeah,
walks?
2 walks.
Yeah, and so you're hoping that maybe he's just wore out.
That's over but low.
Because I'll tell you, it's tough. It's tough to be at third base or shortstop, throw that ball across. You're throwing it across the entire game, and then go pitch. I mean, it's hard to have stamina, that kind of stamina at this age.
Wilson a 3-0 now to Bircher. And it's upstairs. He walked him on 4 pitches, a leadoff walk. And here comes Scott Holland.
We talked about this early, the aggressiveness at the plate, but there's discipline here, forcing him to throw more pitches than what he was comfortable with earlier, obviously. And that's great discipline, great eye discipline at the plate, and forcing Wilson to throw more pitches than he really wants to.
Very good.
This will be interesting right here. Hollins came in varsity action a few times here in the season, but mainly he's been kind of in some late mop-up duty.
He's going to bunt here.
Thrown to the fire right now. Sack fly in game 1. He squares the bunt. It's down. It's a good one. Speedy Holland is going to beat this throw. Ow! Nope, he did not. Bang, bang play. Ball's close, but the sack bunt works out well. Bircher moved to second. Boy, almost
it couldn't have been
that.
any better. I mean, it was perfect. And it was almost a hybrid drag / sack. He didn't show it too early or too late. It was just kind of, but it was almost a perfect bunt. Daly did a good job of digging it out of the dirt.
Absolutely.
But as a player who didn't start, you come in and you do your job. You advance your runner, you give yourself up, and he almost beat that out.
Just a little bit more deadening on it, and he would have beat it out. As Wilson steps off and fakes a throw back to Bircher at second. Here's Dawson Holt now at the plate. 0 for 2 here in this nightcap.
Poor Austin, he's gotten dirty diving back on no throws. A couple times tonight.
Here it comes home. Holt hits this one a mile high to left field. The left fielder's drawn a bead and makes the grab. Tagging and going to third is Birch, and he is safe. Gutsy, but I like it.
Great job. And Dawson just missed that pitch. He turned on it. He just got underneath the bottom half of that ball.
Yep.
But that was a major league pop-up.
Absolutely.
But the aggressive play on the bases, I mean, that's tough to go when the ball's in left field and go from second to third. That's not a routine sacrifice.
The rule is you're supposed to be – that left fielder's got to be moving backwards. He wasn't.
Right.
He was not moving backwards.
Now, if it's right field, obviously you do that
Yeah.
tag. But
here's Harrison Adams, but I like to see if they can get risk reward. That ball's chopped out foul outside third base. But you'd like to see a pass ball here and reward them for their aggressive base running.
You bet.
See if Birch can get in here.
But you talked about this, or we've talked about it. Harrison swung the bat really well. He's had some great at-bats tonight.
Here comes the 0-1. In there for a called strike. Off speed that fooled him.
Now you got a battle.
Which a lot of people, we've seen it before, better two-strike hitters because they're a little sharper focused. His swing's tailored to go to the right side. We've seen him do it, so I kind of like his favor. Ball in his favor.
Here's the 0-2. Just missed outside.
And again, I feel like we're on the verge of getting into the bullpen. We get so close.
Be nice to rally on 2 here and get to that pin. Here it comes. Off speed. This is ripped to center, but right to Spain. He'll come in on it no problem and make the out. Left a man on base, no runs for Greenwood. 4-3 Airedale's middle of the 4th inning.
We hope that's not the conversation we have at the end of the game, is that we had too many opportunities. We left the bases loaded. We left one here, right? So that's 4 that we've left on base in 4 innings. You know, we've got to do a better job in these last few innings of getting the runners that get on base and getting them in.
Tim Terry, Keith Holt, Dr. Dustin Smith, live in the spinach capital of the world, Alma, Arkansas. 5A West baseball. Twin bill tonight. Greenwood Bulldogs won game 1, 13-5 to stay 11-0 in conference. And they moved to 17-5 overall, just so you know. Alma now 4-7 in conference and 7-16 overall. So Greenwood, obviously the better team per record here, and certainly need to keep grounded here in game 2 and get a sweep here on the road. And like you said, we talked about next week's going to be for all the marbles. You win or lose tonight, you still have to sweep Greenbrier next week, and you can win the conference. Now, Greenbrier was behind the Bombers in Game 2, and their doubleheader tonight down at Greenbrier. They won Game 1, so it'd be awesome to see if the Panthers can lose that second game to Mountain Home.
Well, Mountain Home's up 4-0 in the middle of the 6th inning. So
wow.
Greenbrier's got 2 chances to win it. Ducker's still pitching for them, and he's got a pretty low pitch count. They may end up trying to finish it up with Ducker.
Well, you know, Ducker was magical against us. Took us a walk-off to beat him last Tuesday at home in that Game 2. So some little bit of drama here in the 5A West, and we sure would You know, that's one of them deals. Do you want to tell Coach Brewer that we got to, we need to win? He's thinking win, but it'd be nice to know they got beaten game 2.
Pretty sure we said it loud enough for him to hear us.
Was I talking too loud?
Never. That has never been said.
And I missed the batter's name again. I'll get him in a minute.
Logan English.
Okay, Logan English. Well, first one is inside from Carnes, ball 1.
Hey, leading lady here. Leading lady, let's go.
He's their second baseman. And fastball's in there for a called strike. Yeah, if you're Carnes, you need to rear back and overpower these guys. Just throw gas. Just keep bringing it. 1-1 to English. And Grant kicks and fires. Just like that. Swing and a miss. Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
Is Dorn here?
Yes. 1-2.
That's a little major league reference.
It is. I got it. I got it.
And the quick pitch, that's in the air. Petty, can he get to it? He's got it found. Don't trip over the bag. Snow coned a bit, but it's out. And out number 1, the 9-hole now is Bowerman, their catcher.
Yeah, Petty was dancing around the first base bag over there.
You don't think about the landmines out there, but you don't want to trip over the base. The only good thing was it would have been foul, I guess, but we sure don't want to give him free outs.
No.
The good thing was he caught it.
Right, that's even the bestest thing. Here's Bowerman, their catcher, and Gas from Carnes, swing and a miss. Carnes, quick pitch. Just a little low.
And you like him to be rewarded, And he's been calling that. We talked in the first few innings. He was complete opposite of the last umpire where he was given that knee pitch, knee-high strike.
Yes, sir. And that one's fouled towards the first base coach. Good play over there. I think that Coach Driscoll over there. 1-2. Or is that Coach Curd? I don't know who that first base coach is.
It was a nice snag and flip to Pettigrew.
Right? 1-2 the count. One out here in the bottom of the 4th. Airedale's lead 4-3. Carnes roughed up just a bit and
fastball here.
Steps off. And they'll do it again.
Oh, Fry's over in the dugout.
Okay, so this is Driscoll and
So Fry manages from the dugout? Wow.
Okay. Fastball, maybe a little high. 2-2. Grant Carnes up on top. He's ready. And he will kick and fire. Too high, full count. He's way ahead of this guy. Danger of losing him. He's their 9-hole. Sure don't want to walk that 9-hole. Here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him.
He heard you.
Strikeout.
Sure don't want to walk in the 9-hole.
Oh, he definitely said it loud enough. Yeah,
right. Again.
Strikeout number 4 for Carnes. Top of the order back to Axel Spain. Impossible out so far for Greenwood. He's scored twice, reached on an error. We plunked him. He's a leadoff batter.
I've known Tim for 7 years now, and I can tell you if his lips are moving, it's loud.
It's loud.
Absolutely. Right-handed bat. Here's Carnes. He'll kick and fire. Off speed a little bit. Stayed upstairs.
Hey, Doc. Just a little bit.
Ball 1.
And they've kind of got the shift on for him. They went, Dawson moved him. He moved him back a little bit, but Dawson's playing up the middle. They're thinking he's going to pull the ball.
This one's upstairs and out of bounds or out of play.
Out of bounds.
Well, it is out of. I'm a golfer.
That's true.
It's out of bounds.
Yeah.
There's boundaries.
Yeah, it went over the fair line.
It went over the press box. It's out of bounds. I'm a golfer. It's a 1-1 count. It's a strike is what it was. Here's Carnes now. Off speed, just a little high, I guess. Wow, 2-1.
Stay down. Stay down. Ball's below the belt. Stay down.
When you can tell, this umpire will tell you if it's up. His hand moves with the palm towards the sky, and he lifts that, saying it's up.
Right. Here's the 2-1 from Carnes. That's definitely upstairs. 3-1 now to Axel Spain.
Well, 2-out walks will make a coach go bald.
Amen.
It'll take a lot to get Brewer ball.
Coach,
Oh.
you're already there.
There's a ball ripped to Holland and left. Draws a bead.
That's a choice.
No problem for Scotty Too Hottie out in left field. 1, 2, 3, 6 straight down for Carnes. He's getting settled in here at Alma. We'll take a break as we head to the 5th inning. Alma 4, Greenwood 3. Greenwood baseball on the Sports Hog 103.5. All right. 30 if you got it. Thank you. Tim?
I got an argument one time about a quality at bat. No. They said hit the ball well off the bat, but it was an out. I said, that's not a quality at bat. Quality at bat is you get on base. That's what I call a quality at bat.
We're back here in Alma. Yeah, quality at bat. So, I would think you have to be on base. I mean, an out's not a quality at bat. Like maybe a sac fly kind of deal or something.
In this era of the metrics and all the numbers that people look at, and they look at launch angle and speed off the bat and saying that that's a quality at bat. Well, I'll tell you, a quality at bat when I played was get on base. And I think that's still the name of the game. You got to get on base. You can't score if you don't get on base. And
that's the stat. I agree with you 100%. The stat to look at is not average. It's your own base percentage.
Right.
Because if you're batting 300 but you're getting on at 550, to me, you're 550. You're on base over half the time. That's what's important.
Well, in the statistics, you can twist them however you want to twist them, and you can spin it how you want to spin it. And so at the end of the day, for me, if you hit a ball 100 miles an hour off the bat and it's still caught,
it's out.
That's an out.
That's not a quality at bat, unless it was a 15 pitch. Now that's a quality at bat. As Carnes leads off a rocket to left center, and Grant's on his horse. Is he going to try to go to third? He's going to turn on second. He's off and running and down at third. He's dead meat. Got him. Certainly did.
It was just a perfect relay.
Yeah, well done from the Airedales. As Carnes lead off double, but he's cut down at third.
And I was sending him in my head. I didn't want him to stop, thinking it would be tough to get a perfect relay, but I should know you don't make the first or third out at third base.
Yeah, and the ball was in front of him. I mean, he saw it the whole way, and just aggressiveness, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it took a perfect relay, and that happened.
It did.
It's the first one to Pettigrew's a called strike. So a big momentum swing there for the Airedales. But I agree, guys. Rarely do you see the relay and all that well perfected at the high school ranks. I don't care what team it is.
I mean, the third baseman didn't have to move his glove.
Mm-mm.
It was just catch it and then wait for the slide into the glove.
Yeah, Brogan threw a BB in there to him. 1-1 count to Pettigrew. Lead off double, wiped away, trying to stretch to a triple. And that's low. 2-1. We'll let Pettigrew start all over here.
Both teams have barreled up some balls.
Yeah, no doubt.
Seems like ours are at people, or we get thrown out trying to stretch doubles into triples.
2-1, now 2-2. That's one Pettigrew likes to have back. That was a ball. He golfed it over here to the Greenwood dugout, third base side. 2-2. The Greenwood first baseman digs back in. Pettigrew's double and a walk, and this one's fouled up out of play.
It's out of bounds.
Out of bounds. The Alma
you talked
dugout.
about the golf in the previous swing.
And we've talked before, sometimes that at bat right there to foul off a pitch that's borderline or that maybe he gets full on to get the next one is just as good as as watching it. Make sure you're on it timing wise.
Skaggs out on deck for Greenwood, hoping he can get Pettigrew over there at second base and have an RBI chance. Let's see if Wilson will bring him something. Low, full count.
Have you noticed the pitch selection, Greenwood? We don't chase a lot of balls. I mean, we do occasionally, but for a high school team, we do really well at kind of honing into the umpire zone and not chasing a lot of balls. Now, we may chase this one because I said it, but
that's a great
as
point,
a general rule, we really don't.
That's a great point. Adams, or who was Holland, went after. He chased the high one a while ago, but you're right. That's a great point.
And I attribute that to being youth, anxious, excited, want to affect the game.
And good job there, fouling that off. That's beautiful baseball.
Get another one. That's right.
Full count. 99, Brady Pettigrew. Beautiful.
It's a baseball number, isn't it?
Ricky Vaughn.
Aaron Judge.
Wasn't he going to be a Giant?
Shut up. Here's Wilson. Got him. Swinging a miss from Pettigrew. Boy, you don't see him strike out too often. That is the second strikeout for Wilson. And for Pettigrew, that's his 11th K of the year. Here's Skaggs now with 2 down. He's the last chance for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 5th. Alma leading 4-3. Getting a little late. Skaggs is 1 for 1 with a walk, scored a run, and looks at ball 1.
Greenbrier just hit a bases loaded triple. Cut it 4-3. Runner at third. Nobody out.
Wow. Well, it was fun while it lasted. We got to win this one now for sure. Skaggs smokes this one to left. That's a single. Left fielder took him a minute to get there. He's going to try to stretch. Sweet Moses. He is going to be safe. The ball went through. Skaggs needs to get up. He can get to third. He'll make a turn. And
make him throw it. Make him throw it.
And Daly's going to run it in. He will throw it home. And the ball got away from him. Go, Skaggs. Oh, he didn't see it. Oh, I thought he was halfway down there still, but I just saw Coach out of the corner of my eye. Tough one there. It is a single, and Skaggs will go all the way to third. Boy.
Well, everything happened the way we want. He got off enough to where he made the throw happen, and then the throw got away, but he had already turned his back and went back.
And the only reason I thought Daly threw it is because Skaggs was still out there. So once he threw it, I thought he'll walk in. I could tell from my angle it was coming over towards us. Oh, that's a tough one there. That would have been an easy tie game. Let's see if Bashir can keep it going with a 2-out rally here.
I got told the Mountain Home coach got tossed.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No comment, just in case some Mountain Home folks are tuning back into us.
Now, does he have to set a game?
Yeah, you sit the next one.
So that'll be whoever they play Tuesday.
Or unless they have a non-conference.
I mean, it's the previously scheduled game that you sit the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll probably be and Bashir lifts one to left, but it's hooking foul. 1-1 now. A long strike from Weston Bashir. Oh, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us with Skaggs sitting on third.
Well, again, we'd have that conversation about we can't keep leaving guys on base.
True. Yeah. Sure needs to get him in. I agree. Let's see if Weston can do it right here. Here's the 1-1. Off speed's a called strike. Man, they owe us a pass ball.
Well, he's had a lot of confidence in that curveball.
Yep. Sure has. Here's a 1-2. Let's see if Bashir can sit on one. Upstairs, 2-2.
But I also remember against Pettigrew, he tried to beat him with the fastball. He was confident on trying. He tried the last 2 pitches to beat him with fastballs. He likes the curveball, but I think he wants to beat him right now with a fastball.
2-2 the count. Let's see if Bashir find a hole.
That's a balk.
And lifts this one up. Is it going to get down? It's in foul ground. It does. The foul ball.
I don't think he paused there. The umpire's behind him. I don't think he can see it behind him, but he rushed that so fast he didn't even come set.
Wilson now. We'll get all eyes on the pitcher, see if we can see this balk. Maybe he'll do it again. 2-2 still for Bashir. Skaggs at third base. That represents the tying run. Top of the 5th, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Bashir digs in from the right side. Wilson brings it. Off speed is outside, and the count is full. High drama here in the top of the 5th. Kennon's out on deck if Bashir can extend the at-bat. Cash Wilson for Alma up on top. He'll come set and come home with it. Take your base. Whew. Outside. He threw the finger up. Not that one, the other one. He was just pointing to first. And here's Aiden Kennon now. The daddy is 1 for 2 today with an RBI single, scored a run in the second. Flied out to right.
And this is where, Coach, when he starts rubbing his eyes, he's thinking and he's thinking about what he wants to do. Does he want to leave early? Does he want to steal? Does he want to just leave it up to Aiden? The choices, and he's going to talk to his volunteer assistants.
Tonight's game sponsored in part by Midwest Mariucci, Arkansas, of Fort Smith. Appreciate those folks and all their help with the barbecue grill there back in Greenwood. Also, Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction, LLC, licensed and insured. 479-831-9309 since 1978. Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction, LLC. 479-831-9309. A 1972 graduate of Greenwood, a member of that finalist baseball team, the state championship appearance there in 72. Appreciate all of our sponsors down the line. For sure, our Grand Slam sponsors. Ducks Body Shop, West Fraser Lumber, ABC Signs and Printings, Adams Health and Wellness, J&H Automation Engineering, Craig Gigerich State Farm, MSG Waste Services, Scott N. Branton Architects, and Top Notch Roofing.
I think you're going to see something with Weston here. The last thing Tony Sanford did was look at Weston and say something, so I really think you're going to see something next couple.
Kennan lets one fly, but he's pulled it foul left side. Go ahead, Keith.
He may have just said, just don't do anything crazy and get picked off.
Right.
Maybe that simple. Just be smart and leave it up to Aiden to hit.
Runners at the corners. 2 outs here. We've talked about that intentional pickle over there at first base as Cash steps off as some foul balls come in.
Return foul balls.
Well, a couple of them look brand new. They may just got them out of the box. And Wilson says, I'll stay with this one I got. He worked from the stretch for Alma. Kennan digs in an 0-1 count. And here it comes. There goes the runners. Swing and a miss. And they give Bashir second base. And now Kennan's in an 0-2 hole.
No, where's he going? Oh, did he foul it?
I didn't think he did. Home plate blue called it a foul ball. Okay, so he'll go back to second or to first. 0-2 count. And he's going to tell him to get loose now, right? And just leave it first move.
Yeah.
Getting the pickle.
Yeah.
And there he goes. They're going to let's see what happens. Can Skaggs get there? They're going to try to come home, and not in time. He's safe, and the game is tied. The double steal worked, Keith. I can't believe it.
Well, the pitcher has to freeze the runner first, and then he gives it up to the second baseman. That time the second baseman had to turn and throw it, and it just all worked out perfect. Everything was in Greenwood's favor. Great job. Skaggs didn't even slide. He was going full speed like a bullet down the line.
Yeah, and he slides. It may be a different story there.
Yeah, I thought he should have kept going. He did a good job.
He almost caught him off guard by thinking he's going to slide, so I got to go low, and
that's right.
Skaggs was already past him.
So now Kennan with a chance to take the lead. We're tied at 4 now, 0-2 to Aiden Kennan. And it's outside ball 1. I thought he was saying strike.
The Alma fans thought it was a strike.
What the outside?
Aiden shook his head like, I see that.
Yeah, I knew it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilson up on top. Here it comes. Off speed. Now that's a foul ball. 1-2. I see Leland Barclay in the press box up there, so we get to read about this tomorrow in the Northwest Arkansas Demgaz or River Valley Democrat Gazette. Leland will paint the picture for you. One of the best in the business. 1-2 to Kennan. Bashir out at second, moved up on the double steal. We're tied at 4, top of the 5th. And here it is. In the dirt, Kennan.
Good job battling.
Yep. He knows that was one he should have pulled the trigger at. It was way low, but
and as a
fouled
pitcher,
it off.
As a pitcher, you may look for a pass ball or something here because you're like, okay, he's going to swing at anything I'll throw up there, so you want to keep it from being around the plate.
Very good. 1-2 count. Wilson comes set, checks on Bashir at second.
Back.
They turn. Nobody covering, though. Bashir didn't wisely stayed out there until they try to cover. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're tied at 4, top of the 5th.
That's a balk. It sure is. He reset. Yeah.
He did set reset. And the field ump's not sure what the field ump's not looking for or what he's watching.
Yeah, he did. What did he say? Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, he said he can't start and come back. I can't hear the umpire.
The ump's trying to explain to it, but we're talking about basic rules of baseball.
No, he just missed it. It's like he didn't get the sign he wanted, so he set and then came back and reset.
Here's a 1-2. Kennan a chopper towards third. Gobbled up. Runner's going home. He saves. Saving first. Runner coming home. Save it home. Oh, it got in there for sure. A heads up Base running as Coach Brewer rolled the dice, and Kennan hustling down the line beats it out at first, and the Bulldogs lead 5-4.
Well,
oh, baby.
Third baseman he stayed back on the ball. He's got to go through that high chopper to even have a chance
But
at Kennan at
you
first.
can talk about that, but Kennan busting it down the line, obviously, and then Brashear not stopping.
Never
he
stopped.
just rolling and
Didn't even slow down.
Well, it was funny because as the high chop was coming to third, Brewer had the windmill going, and he never stopped. He was
Never.
green lighting him the whole way as drops start to fall. Now the rain is starting to open up here in Alma as the Bulldogs get a 5-4 lead. And there's a rip into the 5-6 hole from Bircher, and the rally keeps going here on two as Kennan moves up to second. And we got action here. Another one through that gap, guys. Now Scotty Holland will come up. Pinch hitting for Mitchell, who
not pinch hitting.
Well,
he's in the game
hitting now
Yeah.
for Mitchell. He pinch hit for him the last inning in the fourth as Mitchell ran into the center field wall to end the third inning. Holland with a sac bunt. This one's way high. Ball one.
And no action in the Alma bullpen. I think they've warmed up those guys enough. They're going to go. I mean, if they make a change, they're going to go to somebody who's
In
loose.
the game, or in the game, maybe. That
Holland looks at ball two.
you think this inning with 2 outs are going to do or die with this pitcher?
Got to. I think so.
You got to this point.
I don't know. They may not have. I don't know what else they've got in the stable. Holland swings and misses. 2-1.
Don't you get that thing out?
I'm fixing to. I'm just to get over my equipment. I don't
Oh.
care about getting wet, but I got a bunch of equipment that don't need to get wet. Here's the 1-2. Or 2-1, rather. 3-1 now. Good eye from Holland. Runners at first and second. Holt's on deck.
Right center, Doc. Hit something hard to right center. Let it travel.
And here's the 3-1. They fake step off, no throw back to second. Wilson will reset for Alma.
But usually when you do that move, you're not expecting to pick somebody off. You're expecting maybe they're taking off and maybe you can catch them and hang them up halfway. But Kennan's not going anywhere.
Kennan at second. Bircher at first. And that's a walk way outside. A great at-bat for Scott Holland. The sophomore coming in crunch time.
Well, here comes Coach.
Sack, bunt, and a walk. And
They've got to go to a pitcher now, and I think 22 is coming in.
Is he getting ready?
Yeah, they've given him high fives in the dugout. I'm assuming it's 22.
So there'll be a pitching change here for Alma. Greenwood's got the bases loaded and 2 outs. 2 runs in already here in the fifth. They've taken a 5-4 lead. We will take a break and talk about our new pitcher after this timeout. Mountain Home still leading Greenbrier 5-4, top of the seventh. Somehow they got out of that jam.
No, they were. It was tied 4-4 at the bottom of the
I
sixth.
see.
They just scored in the top of the seventh.
Gotcha. Fantastic. We'll take a quick break, 30 seconds if we got it. It's Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5. 30.
What's his name? Hal. 21 innings, 17 hits, 12 earned runs, 25 walks in 12 innings.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the equipment covered. Yeah, that'll work.
Did she say
Thanks.
5?
Yeah.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back here. That's fine. We're back. Thank you. Got to get the umbrella out, trying to keep some equipment dry.
Well,
Yeah.
let me run. Let me do.
And really, I'd like to keep myself dry. I'm made of sugar. I would
That's a
melt.
lie.
And I'm a golfer, so I'm double prima donna. Who's this guy pitching? 22 is his name. Is his number.
Is it Hal? Did they say Hal?
That's what they said.
21 inning pitched, giving up 20 hits, 12 earned runs, 13 walks, 15 Ks.
Well, he'll get the top of the order. Dawson Holt, who's due. He's hit the ball hard here in game 2. Just hadn't got anything down yet. A couple of flyouts and a ground out to short to start the ball game. Bulldogs have already got 2 across here in the 5th. Holt will be the 8th batter to come up to the plate here in the 5th inning. Greenwood's got the bases loaded. Kennan's at third. Got there with an RBI single. Bircher singled. He's at second. Holland walked. He's at first. And they announced him Howell as the new pitcher, number 22,
Howell.
right-handed pitcher. Now, did 35 just come out? They didn't put him at third. So Wilson's not in defensively somewhere else. Here's Doc Holt now. He's due. He's 0 for 3 here in game 2. Holt will stand in from the right side. And Howell will take a long time now, come home with it. And he hit him. That'll work. We'll take a hit by pitch. That's an RBI for Doc Holt. Absolutely.
Leave it to the next guy that's hot.
Right. I like the way to stand
Whatever
in
it
there.
takes.
Yeah,
That's
stand in there and wear it. That moves everybody up. That'll bring Kennan in to score. Bircher goes to third. Holland to second. Holt at first. And now Harrison Adams, who's one for 3 here in game 2. And Howell will wait up on top, the righty with the bases still loaded. And the first one's upstairs. It's 6-4 now. Greenwood with the lead as the Bulldogs have batted around here in the top of the 5th.
Man, it's huge. You know, Greenwood needed it. We talked about it. We still got 3 people out there, 3 runners on base that we still need to get in.
Yep.
At least get 1 or 2 of them in and not leave so many guys on base.
Here comes the 1-0. Just missed. Trying to frame back there from Howerson. He couldn't get it from the home plate blue.
Whoever
Or
yelled
Bowerman, rather.
no from our dugout was right on time because I think that umpire went up to call it. He's like, no, and then he's like, okay, you're right. No,
2-0 count
no.
for Howell for Alma. Adams digs in from the right side. Bulldogs in a 2-out rally here. Here it comes. And that's in there for a called strike. Adams, I think, just taken to a strike. I don't blame him.
No, it's a good take. Especially when you know, he's hit fastballs today. We've seen him hit fastballs hard, curveballs hard.
Here's the 2-1. Carnes on deck. He's launching at the bit, wanting to get a chance here in the 5th. And that hit him. We've got another RBI hit by pitch. This time it's Adams.
Coach is going to come out. We'll probably see another pitching change.
Austin Bircher will come in to score. Greenwood's put 4 across here in the 5th.
Who do you have as the shortstop?
That's Brogan has been at short.
Okay, so Brogan.
And the Greenwood up 7-4. Now the extra point was good for Bircher. Back-to-back H plunks by Alma for RBIs for Holt and Harrison Adams. And Greenwood's batting around here in the 5th.
Brogan's 12 innings, giving up 22 hits, 10 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. A little bit better walk-to-strikeout ratio. Greenwood's still got to take advantage. It doesn't matter what we've done. I know it's 7-4. We're up 3. We got to score some of these guys on base. We need a big 2-out hit.
So let's see.
big 2-out hit or hit by pitch?
I'll take either.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten
We'll
2
just
runs
keep doing it.
based off of that.
We're up there taking on shrapnel right now. Howell's going to go to second base. And then number 2, English, will move to short. So we've got new blood up the middle. And Brogan's been magnificent at shortstop. So we'll keep an eye on that. A ball hit that way to short.
Yeah, and English is a freshman. He's another guy that they're looking to be a dude. You know, him and Daly play together. And English is one of those guys, you could probably put him anywhere out there. He's played everything.
Brogan a gamer. We know he's going to come in and mean business. Bulldogs are a crooked number here in the 5th. 4 across already to take a 7-4 lead. In the top of the 5th, still batting with 2 outs, and Grant Carnes with the bases juiced. A little bit of rain has subsided now.
Spitting.
Mm-hmm.
So Mountain Home scored 2 in the top of the 7th. They're up 6-4 going into the bottom of the 7th inning versus Greenbrier.
Wow. So Mountain Home trying to spoil Greenbrier's.
And they're doing it without their coach. I mean, it's not.
Right.
He got ejected. Out of, it was, and it seemed like when Dr. Smith found out, it was something happened on the triple. There was a bases loaded triple. Either calls didn't happen or something because there was a long pause on game change.
Or he may have gotten tossed before that. I'm not sure when that was, but either way, he was ejected from the game, and
that's got to affect the team, right?
sometimes that happens.
One way or the other. Well, here's Grant Carnes now. I'd like to see him eject this ball from the playing field.
Ba-dum-bum.
Bases loaded. Carnes back around. He had a double already in this inning. Got cut down trying to stretch it to a triple. And the first one's low Ball one.
And all you're trying to do with Brogan, he's got a different arm angle. He's a three-quarter slot guy. And for the righties, it's looking like it's coming in, and you just got to get a good barrel on it.
Grant Carnes, the pitcher for Greenwood. Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Holland walked. He's at third. Holt, RBI, hit by pitch. Adams at first, RBI, hit by pitch. Bases loaded for Carnes, 2-0. Low, 3-0. No place to put him.
Well, it's does it take here?
Oh,
If it's me, I mean.
Yes. No. He hasn't thrown a strike yet. New guy in. You go ahead and take.
And here it comes, Brogan up on top. He's a right-handed pitcher. Runners get their leads, and here's the 3-0. And just lobbed it in there for a strike.
That's okay.
You know, and he changed arm sleeves. He had a white arm sleeve, and you can't pitch. He put on a black one. But, again, it's got to affect you being a shortstop, throwing across all game for 2 games and come in. It's just, you ask a lot of these guys.
Here's a 3-1.
Oh,
Called strike.
it's all right.
Now everybody's moving. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch.
We call it the payoff pitch in the radio business, and here it is. Bases loaded for Grant Carnes, 3-2, 2 outs. Bulldogs leading 7-4. Would like a couple more insurance runs. Here it comes from Brogan. Outside, and he walked him. So an RBI, base on balls for Grant Carnes.
We still haven't done what we've all asked. We want to clear the bases. We don't want to leave 3 guys, which, if we're going to do it, I mean, who would you want up if we were going to have the bases loaded 2 outs?
Pettigrew. Now guess what? Here comes Pettigrew.
That's right.
And he's seen the ball really well tonight.
Is that the Italian stallion out there? Ashton Vinci, courtesy running for Carnes over at first base. Here's Pettigrew. And he hit him. Another hit by pitch RBI. And cue up the Benny Hill music. This thing has turned into a little bit of a circus.
But, you know, Coach Fry, when you make moves, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just when you put a guy out there and he hits people or he's wild, I mean, you think he thinks that's going to happen? It's tough.
6 runs across now for Greenwood. They're up by 5. Now that's the magic number. They need to keep that 5-run lead. Still bases loaded for the hot-hitting Braden Skaggs, who's 2 for 2, scored twice and walked. And he rips this one back up to center field, and it's going to be Adams in. Vinci will turn. He'll come in to score, and the Bulldogs tack 2 more on. An RBI single for Braden Skaggs. Oh, baby.
Well, and that's one I don't think they wanted Daly to cut that. I think that throw was on line. Did you think the throw was on line?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't, it was looking like it was really close. But Daly was there and thinking, okay, Pettigrew's going to third, so there's an opportunity to throw him out. If they can't get the sure out at home, then you cut that and try to cut him out at third. Pettigrew got in there at third, so Greenwood hangs an 8 spot so far here in the top of the 5th.
Impressive. Here's Weston Bashir now, who walked his first time up here in this inning. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, popped out to the pitcher. There goes a runner swinging away. Third base gobbles across the diamond, and they finally get the 3rd out. But the Bulldogs did the damage here in the top of the 5th. 8 runs across. They left 2 on base and did it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits for the Bulldogs here in the 5th inning. And they lead 11-7. We will take a timeout. Carnes back to work as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5.
Very good.
30. Now, give me a minute if you got it. Thank you.
Well, ball game. Mountain Home won 6-4.
Mountain Home beat Greenbrier.
6-4. Well, the first guy lost it. Their best pitcher lost the first game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sarveski, he lost the first game.
Ducker won.
The Ducker won it. That Ducker kid. Yep. Yeah, he wasn't, but he.
10 seconds. We welcome you back to Alma, Arkansas. Tim Terry, Dr. Dustin Smith, Keith Holt. Bottom of the fifth we go. Bulldogs put a snowman on them in the top of the fifth. They lead 11-4 now, 8 runs across. Just got word from Greenbrier that the Panthers go down to Mountain Home 6-4 in the nightcap, so the Bulldogs can get a win here and take over sole possession of first place and be the only undefeated team left. With the Panthers coming to town next week, they'll be out for blood, needing to sweep Greenwood to win.
Well, and I think you and I have talked about it, and I think Coach would agree with me that your first goal is to win conference. That's your first goal.
Right.
And then that affects how you go into the state tournament, and then you win state, just because.
Well, and here's what happens. You put an 8 spot up in the top of the fifth, and you come out and just throw strikes. Pound the zone.
Brogan swings and misses at the 1-0. He's their pitcher now. He's on the mound, isn't he? That's right.
But, and
he's 1 for 1 with a walk.
I'm being completely sincere when I say that Alma has done a lot better at hitting the ball than we've seen them do in a while. They've hit the ball hard all day.
Keith.
They look good hitting the ball, and if this is what Coach Fry's done with, they get some pitching. They're a different team, and I say that because they've got a couple, and we've seen this all the way through the whole conference.
Right?
But they've hit the ball well today.
They certainly have, and we've thrown the best we've got at them. Here's Carnes, swing and a miss. That's just gas there, 1 and 2.
Well, Aiden, that was the hardest he's been hit. Carnes.
They rattled off 10 hits off of him.
Yes.
Yep. Swing and a miss. That's just fuzz on that ball, ladies and gentlemen. That's gas. Gas, as Kevin Crafton would call it. Here's Noah Likens now.
How many pitches was he at coming into the inning?
Left-handed bat.
In the high 70s.
Is that narrow stance for Likens? Takes a stride and fires away. Here it comes. That ends up and fouled over the top. Just more heat from Carnes.
When you stand up that tall, though, you pop a lot of stuff up because your hips slide forward and you get under the ball. So it's hard to get on top of that ball.
But he's a senior. This has worked for him.
Yep.
And each person has a different stance. You can watch everybody play. And
yeah. Here comes the 0-1 from Carnes. And everybody moving out of the way. Home plate blue. You gotta trust Hosley back there.
That's right.
1-1.
81 pitches.
That was pitch 81?
That was pitch 81.
Okay. Here Carnes rearing back and bringing the heat. And swinging a miss from Likens at some high heat.
He's just daring them now. He's just throwing it over.
We got one out, right?
Yes.
Because they don't on the board.
Yeah. One strikeout for
there
Carnes
it is.
here.
They heard me.
Yeah, they may. I'm sure they're listening. Here's the 1-2 from Carnes. Got him right down the middle of backwards K. Carnes maybe the bottom of the fifth, but he's certainly looking pretty comfortable now. That is strikeout number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Here's Easton Daly now. Last chance for the Dales here in the bottom of the fifth. Carnes looking to strike out the side in order. Here it comes. Gas. Nope. Off speed. Check swing from Daly. Got him thinking heat.
That was, yep. How good is that to see, 6 straight fastballs?
Yeah.
And then you throw a breaking ball?
Well, give credit to Daly there to be able to foul that off.
Right.
You're trying to tee up and look for the heat, knowing that it's coming, and still able to battle that off.
0-1 count to Easton Daly. He's over 2 here in the nightcap. Carnes brings gas. Just missed. 1-1.
Arm's still live, too.
Yeah.
It really helps him keeping him in right field. I know he spent most of his youth playing in the infield, but I think you saved his arm a lot putting him out there.
1-1 count. And it's low. 2-1 now to Daly. Well, and he had a nice breather in that last half inning when they sent 12 to the plate. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. So let his arm refresh.
That ball is smoked.
This one's roasted to left. Hollins on his horse. No problem for Scotty Too Hottie out there. The sophomore coming in, making a hand on the run in deep left field. And they go 1, 2, 3 in the inning. Bulldogs lead 11-4 here through 5. Fantastic work for the Bulldogs here. And need 3 runs and 3 outs, huh? That'd be even nicer. Let's see what we got. Kennan, Bircher, Holland due up in the top of the 6th. And we want to thank tonight's game sponsors, our Grand Slam sponsors. They
on the mound.
They love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get in an accident, call Duck's Body Shop in Mansfield. The place to go to get your ride looking right. 479-928-5516. The Carson family at Duck's Body Shop. 928-5516 over in Mansfield. And West Fraser Lumber. And West Fraser and Mansfield proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. You got a beat on number 11 yet?
What's his name?
I haven't said yet.
I don't know if we've seen 11.
Green. Have they pitched a kid named Green?
No.
I don't think he's played.
Oh, didn't play in the first game either. Right-handed pitcher. And he will see Kennan, Bircher, and Mitchell. J&H Automation Engineering, MSG Waste Services, Scott M. Branton Architects, Top Notch Roofing, Adams Health and Wellness, ABC Signs and Printings. Thank you to all of our Grand Slam sponsors. A right-hander.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned yet. They got the Boot Scootin' Boogie scooting up there.
Can't go wrong with Brooks and Dunn.
One of them's an Oklahoma native.
Really?
Well, Mark, you've seen the way Daly's hit the ball, and you can see his size and strength.
Braden Green.
Braden Green. So imagine when Daly, 2 years from now, will be a 9th grader, those balls they're gone.
Right.
We'll be reading about him in the conference leading with home runs. So Braden Green's thrown 13 innings, giving up 21 hits, only 3 walks, and 12 Ks in 13 innings.
And here's Aiden Kennan now. Fouls the first one back.
I'm going to go ahead and give you my math. That's a little under a strikeout an inning.
Very good. That was quick.
Man. Not the fastest you've ever seen, but...
I didn't say I was right, just fast.
Right. Correct. Kennan with an 0-1 count. And that's low, ball 1.
Well, I was glad we got a couple hits with the bases low. We talked about teams beating, for a while, Alma was beating themselves with the walks, the hit by pitches. I wanted to see Greenwood come through with a big hit, and they did.
Low, 2-1 to Kennan.
Well, somebody who, we can go back to that inning. Obviously we scored 8 runs, but Kennan was a big part of that when he was able to leg that one out down the line.
That started it, didn't it?
Yep, that did. Here's the 2-1. And the daddy rips one to left, and it's going to get down, and it'll be a long single. They'll hold Kennan up at first base, and that's what you want, a lead-off single for...
So did we do that with all 2 outs? Did we score 8 runs with 2 outs?
Tim will have to tell you that.
Yes, the first 2 batters, Carnes and Pettigrew got out. All that was with 2 outs.
And it started because the next batter was...
Skaggs.
Skaggs with a hit.
He singled.
But then that was a
walk, single, single, walk, plunk, plunk.
Wow.
Walk, plunk, single. Here's a bunt from Birch. They're going to throw to first. He got him. Boy, the runner, that fielder was... I guess that's legal.
Well, it's not ideal for either one. You don't want talking about with Daly's foot being across the bag.
Yes.
Yeah, he was trying to make sure he was there to be able to block anything, and it's bad for both people. You don't want the runner running into that leg.
Well, Birch's goal was to move the runner, but he almost got a single out of that. 2 foot to the left, just a little bit more, and he's on first base
For sure.
Here's Scott Holland, who came in the 4th, sacrificed bunt, and he walked, scored a run in the 5th. And Green brings it to him. It's in there for a called strike.
Well, we've seen, I don't know if you've been to the games where other teams and they try to bunt and they don't execute. You have to work at that and feel confident. I don't know that we have we not executed a bunt today, or have we executed all of our bunts?
I think we've
executed all of them.
There hasn't been any pop-ups. I think we have. You're exactly right.
And that's a testament to the work.
There's a shot pulled foul, though, outside third base. And Holland's in an 0-2 hole.
That was opposite glove hand. That was the throwing hand for Brewer. So, I guess we give him a pass for
Yeah.
Again, it's
the
amazing.
Olay.
It's amazing he's even trying.
All that windmill in his arm.
Yeah, absolutely right. No doubt.
Oh, Patty Webb may have to come over here and give him some ice.
Yeah, I'll get some icy hot out. Here's the 0-2 to Scott Holland. He's in left field now for Greenwood, and that's outside. Good eye from the sophomore. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Holland came in. Mitchell ran into the fence. They put Bircher to center and put Holland in left.
Which was still.
Did he run into the fence, or did the fence run into Austin?
He ran into the fence. Here's the 1-2 to Holland. Swinging him, just tipped it, but a good squeeze back there, and it'll be a strikeout. And out number 2.
What they used to say about Chuck Norris, he didn't do push-ups, he pushed the earth down. That's what I think happened out there.
Top of the order now. Here's Doc Holt.
But we can talk about it, and I see him over here.
Is he getting around a little bit?
He's sitting there over here in the dugout. But how big was that play?
Yeah,
huge.
Big play. And Holt swings and misses at his first offering from Green. Strike 1. Holt is hit by pitch, count as an at-bat?
It does not.
Okay, he's over 3 with a hit by pitch RBI. 0-1 to count. Green checks on the runner at second. That's Kennan. And it's a ball.
The key on the balls, the curveballs that are balls, is to pick up the arm angle and the spin so you recognize it when it does come over for a strike.
Well, I've been impressed with Bowerman behind the plate.
Yes.
He's been a wall back there, and
yes.
When the situation has called for it, he's made the play.
1 ball, 1 strike to Doc Holt. Here it comes from Green. This one's lifted in the air again, Keith.
Too high.
Just a little bit under it. Left fielder drifting a lot. Makes the catch, though. That's Likens out there. And the Bulldogs strand 1, a leadoff single from Kennan to no avail. Bottom of the 6th we go. Bulldogs still in command here. 11-4 your score here over Alma. Quick break here on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. Minutes fine. New pitcher.
So you got Carnes going to right.
Yep, Skaggs in
left.
Hunter Houston pitching.
And Hunter pitching.
Okay, 10 seconds. We welcome you back to the spinach capital of the world. Tim Terry, Dr. Dustin Smith, Keith Holt. Greenwood leading 11-4 here in Game 2 of this doubleheader in 5A West baseball. Bottom of the 6th we go. Some pitching change for Greenwood. Triple H has joined the fray up on the mound. He came in relief in the first game, and he will come in here in the bottom of the 6th. So you had Carnes go to right field, Skaggs move back over to left, and Holland out defensively now for Greenwood.
Well, we've talked about how far Greenwood's come to not get down, to be able to have some fight, win innings. Well, now we got to close it out. Now we can't let them. Last inning, I wasn't as impressed with how we let Alma get momentum and come back and make it a game there. We got to do better at shutting it down, because when you get deep into conference play or the state tournament, teams that get that momentum tend to finish it, and we just need to squash it before we get started.
Houston was great in Game 1. Came in with 2 outs in the 6th and had a 2-pitch out, and then went 1-2-3 in the 7th.
That's what
and
we
he'll
need right
get
here.
Camden Curd to lead off the bottom of the 6th for Alma. Left-handed bat and a little inside.
Good velocity.
Yeah, Hunter's throwing well.
But
One
this
ball
is
count.
This is a good role for him. To be a closer and come in.
That ball's up and out of play over the top.
By the time you get to this point in the season, you pretty much know your role. I mean, you could tell you know who's going to courtesy run, who's going to pinch run, who's going to come in for who, and this is a good role for Hunter.
Here's the 1-1 from Triple H. That's in the air. Skaggs has got to come flying in and booted it. They both were going to collide. I think Adams was on the run. The throw in's not in time, and it is a double for Curd. I say boot. It was a great attempt at it. Just couldn't flag it down.
Yeah, it was a hit, but the communication wasn't there to where Skaggs kind of dove to the side because he was afraid Harrison was coming full speed, which he was.
Yeah.
And I don't think, Skaggs just being out there, not having a feel, it looked like he got about a half a step bad jump.
I think, though, if Adams would have known he had a good line on it, that maybe he would have bailed out. It would have been a more cleaner dive.
For sure.
Well, a lead-off double. And here is Macon now. And Houston will step off. No throw.
Hey, get this one. We want these. We want these. That run doesn't matter.
You hear Coach Brewer tell him, forget the guy on second. Let's come get the batters. Macon, left-handed bat. Comes home with it. And there's a chopper. Nobody there can get to it in time. He does and throws over. Got him half a step. Good job. Nice exchange, really, from Holt. 1-2, bang, bang.
What you scared of? Attaboy.
Actually, a good job for Dawson not to throw it into the ground.
Kind of had a discussion about that between games.
Yes.
But, and he had to range a long way to his left to get that ball and then square himself up and be able to make that throw. And, it shows the progression. Obviously, he had a bad throw in the first game and overcame that there and get the out. And again, the outs are what matters.
We see a strike blown by the batter. Was it the runner overran third and he was wanting Pettigrew to throw it at third?
He was trying to figure out if he was going to go ahead and go and see.
Gotcha.
We kind of had that run earlier where we just kept going with two outs. And
yeah, and Coach was yelling, throw it, because we want to show people we're not afraid to throw the ball around a little bit. Now, you can't throw it away when you do that.
Braden Driscoll's at bat. He's got a 1-1 count for the Airedales. One out man at third
I like the aggressiveness.
is Camden Curd. Bottom of the sixth, Bulldogs lead 11-4. An 8 spot in the fifth was the difference so far. And that's upstairs. 2-1 now. And Hunter Houston in relief here. Big number 9, a righty. Triple H. A right-handed batting Braden Driscoll. He started out as third baseman. They've had some defensive moves here and there. And Houston will kick and fire. And inside, 3-1.
Keep him honest.
Yep.
Well, it looks like Fry's done a good job at getting some of the younger guys in the games where he started a lot of the seniors and stuff the first game. He mixed in some of the freshmen and sophomores the second game because that experience is very valuable.
Swinging a chopper back to Houston. He freezes the runner, goes back to first. Well done. That's how you do it. Field your position. 1-3 on the putout. There's 2 down now here in the sixth.
Like Garfield on the mound. The
Like a
cat pouncing on it, and he saw lasagna. It was bouncing, and he made that play.
Well, I hadn't had lasagna in a while. Here's Logan English, their second baseman. He's 0 for 2. He's flied out to the first baseman twice. What are the odds of that? Runner at third.
100%.
Yeah, no doubt.
2 for 2.
Right.
There's quick math for you,
Yeah.
Keith.
It was quick.
And over but low, I guess maybe a little outside. Ball 1 to Logan English. Runner at third means nothing right now for Greenwood. Up 11-4. Houston dialed in up top. Hunters. There's one lifted towards center field, and it's going to get down. A diving attempt to no avail from Birch. Carnes will field it, and an RBI for English.
You could draw a dot right in the middle of the right fielder and the center fielder. That landed right in the middle. Good hit by English.
Didn't have to have English on the hit.
He did not have to have English. No Massey.
Good effort from Bircher trying to get to that.
Well, in Hunter, he's just throwing fastballs. He's got a lead. He's just up there trying to get him to to hit it to us so we can get outs.
1, 2. Yeah, it's only the 5th hit of the night for Alma in game 2. That one got away. Runner's going to move up. 2 outs here in the 6th, 11-5.
Is it the first one's the hardest to get or the last one?
The first cut is the deepest. Here's
First out or the last?
Avery Bowerman. Well, this is not the last out per se.
No,
I
it's
mean,
the last out of this inning.
yeah, right. It's turning into a little bit of a struggle. And Hunter Houston gets him to foul one back, 1-1. This is Avery Bowerman, their catcher. He has been good tonight, Doc Smith. You were talking about it.
Been a wall back there.
Yep.
He's had to block a lot of stuff in the dirt. You know, when they were going through the inning where they were hitting batters and stuff, you know, he kind of calmed all that down and righted the ship.
Here's a 1-1 from Triple H for Greenwood coming home. Fastball, blew it pine, swing and a miss. 1-2. English out at second. An RBI single, moved up on a passed ball.
Hunter looks unassuming out there, shirt untucked. And
Oh, yeah.
just
Here's the 1-2. He's going to spin and throw, and threw it to center field. Nobody there. English didn't see it in time. And Coach Burr says, we don't need any shenanigans. Come get this batter. Hunter saying, somebody cover the base.
It's 1-2 with 2 outs. Just get the batter. You just blew a fastball by him.
I think they had some little trick deal on where there's a signal that the shortstop's supposed to see, and Hunter was kind of telling Harrison, you missed it. Here's the 1-2. He'll come home with it. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout for Triple H to their 9-hole batter, the Bulldogs. Only surrender 1 there in the 6th. They go to the top of the 7th with a 6-run lead at 11-5 here at Alma. We'll stay right here, guys.
Yeah, I think he was just checking to see if Bircher was backing up the throw. You know, he dove on that play right before that and was just making sure that he was still alive back there behind center field. But as Hunter was coming off the field, he patted himself on the chest and said, that's my bad.
Well, and he knows. You know, you heard Coach Brewer say it. You've got 2 strikes on a batter. Just keep it simple. Keep it with the easy stuff. Those strikes, put the ball in play. You know, baseball is so simple. Hit a round ball, round bat, just put it in play hard. Pitch it over the plate. I mean, it's simple, right?
It's a simple game.
Yeah.
Kind of like golf. You just hit that little ball in the hole is all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. Hit it straight.
The stationary ball.
Hey, just put deodorant on your driver. Keep it from slicing.
Using the
Someone said if you put deodorant on your driver, it will not allow it to spin, and you'll hit it straight.
go watch a movie Dead Solid Perfect. Don't watch it with your kids. Well, your kids are old enough now, I guess. Well, Ty's not.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's a good golf movie.
No, I haven't seen it.
Seen it either. It sounds like I better not watch
Randy
it.
Quaid. It's a great golf movie. It's an obscure cult classic. Most don't know about it. Golfers do.
Randy Quaid, like Cousin Eddie Randy Quaid?
He's a pro golfer. It's good.
Did he put deodorant on his driver? Because that was my
No,
question.
but
Yeah,
he
I mean,
kinda,
we've kind of diverted from the question.
it was
Did
about
you answer
hustling. It was
or not?
about hustling on golf, and he was going around trying to hustle for money, and somebody told him to keep an eye on this old man. He uses the grease, and he greased up his driver face.
So we went to a whole different level. I mean, it was a simple question, I thought, and we've gone into a movie review.
Yeah.
It's rated R. For
Like,
sure.
yeah, not a recommendation, a movie
right.
review.
I want to say I might have seen that, but that's probably a 1984 movie, isn't it?
It's late 80s. Corrine Borer is the love interest. And this is how a green.
So did the question get answered?
Yes. I don't know if it helped you
Grease.
slice or not.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
didn't answer it.
No.
It's kind of like shaving cream on your bathroom mirror. It'll keep it from fogging up during the shower time.
That's right. That's true.
I don't know. I never heard that. I'd never tried that.
You never
either.
heard that?
I've heard it. I hadn't tried it.
I tried it. It works.
I like to write red rum on our window, on the mirror, whenever it's fogged up.
What are you talking about?
I don't know where we're at right now.
The Shining? The Shining? I don't know.
Let's play some baseball.
It'll be Adams, Carnes, and Pettigrew. I'm waiting for Carnes to get a big hit for me in this inning. I'm challenging him right now.
He's locked in.
Yeah, good. Well, here's Harrison Adams. He's got a single, couple fly outs to outfield and a RBI hit by pitch and swings and misses at the first one, strike one.
If you're going to swing and miss, make it look like that.
I agree. Healthy cut. Righty-righty matchup. This is the fourth pitcher for Alma. Swing and a miss from Adams. He's in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, that one, he yanked everything when he swung that one.
I'm hurting because of that swing. I think I pulled something.
You did.
Right. Brogan's back at short for Alma. Here's the 0-2. And it bounces in. Good job from Harrison to stay off of that deal. English still at second.
And that, Keith, you've coached some catchers behind the plate, and you think about that moment. I mean, you're working on blocking, obviously, but it's a 1-2 count, nobody on. Is that one you'd rather just say, hey, I want to save the good block for when there's runners on?
Well, and I used to think that, but I talked to enough catchers where you want it to be automatic without thinking. You want everything to be just automatic. Always drop your glove because you don't want to have to think about it ever. So I used to think the same thing. Why would you dare put yourself in that position with nobody on? But they all say the same thing as well. You want it to be automatic.
By the way, Harrison swung and missed and struck out.
Well, I appreciate you answering the question. It's kind of rare this inning, obviously.
I know, right?
You ask a question, you get an answer.
That's
and
right.
I appreciate you.
And it deferred the attention from Harrison taking strike three.
And Carnes rips one to left. That's got the attention of a lot of folks. A single. One out. And I told him I wanted one hit hard. He heard me.
Yeah, you said quality at bat, his first at bat.
That's right. Well, and now he's got to run for himself because he's not a pitcher anymore, so he didn't get a courtesy runner.
Which that's fine with me.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Pettigrew now.
I've heard he's fast.
Pettigrew's walked. He's doubled. He scored a run. He hit by a pitch RBI of his own. We got three of those all in one inning. And Green comes home with it, and Pettigrew hits this a mile high.
Too high.
Catcher off with the mask. Great job back there from Bowerton. That's a tough ball to catch. He sure did it.
When did you see the flag out in left center? It's got some flow to it. So when the ball gets up above the lights, even as that ball went up, there's some air pushing that around. And great job by Bowerman to track that and be able to catch that as it was moving back towards the infield.
For sure.
Well, here's Skaggs now. The last chance for Greenwood here in the top of the seventh. They lead 11-5. Now the Dogs up on Alma.
Is this top of seventh already?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Skaggs is 3 for 3 with a walk, and this fouled out of play over the first base dugout.
Another answered question.
We're getting them.
You figure out who to ask the question
That's
to,
right.
you can get a solid answer.
Skaggs with 3 singles, 2 RBI, scored twice, walked on the third. He is red hot. This has been a magical season for the junior.
Well, and you think back to the big inning that we had there, that Skaggs was able to score, without the slide.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was huge. Yeah, because I was with you. If he would have slid into home, I think the catcher was set up to make a good quick tag.
There goes a runner, and Skaggs rips one to center, but Spain is there on the run and makes a nice diving
He
stab.
has covered a lot of ground out there.
He has.
And the Bulldogs leave a runner out there, Carnes, with 1 hit.
I don't think he was a senior, was he?
I think Spain was.
Was he a
I think
senior?
his Spain. Yeah, his name was up there.
So we've got 3 more out for the Bulldogs to notch this sweep here and stand alone and top the 5A West at 12-0. 3 outs away. Quick break. Come back and enjoy this sweep, hopefully, for these Bulldogs. We're in Alma. It's Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog, 103.5. $30 seconds.
I love how Coach Brewer, first thing he told Skaggs was, look, guy makes a play on you like that, you take off your hat, tip your hat to him. Tell him good job. Makes me think of, you've seen the movie Mr. Baseball.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you an answer. Yes, I've seen it.
Yes. Now, that's a good movie. Tom Selleck, he goes over and plays baseball in Japan. You haven't seen that, have you?
Parts of it.
Oh, my gosh.
Triple H back to work for Greenwood here in the bottom of the 7th. And the Bulldogs 3 outs away from a sweep of those pesky Airedales. And And they're going to see the top of the order, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be Spain, Brogan, and Likens scheduled to bat. Houston looking for a nice 2 innings. So I guess it really wouldn't be a save per se, but I guess that's another rule that drives me nuts is what they call a save nowadays in any level.
Does the tying run have to be on deck for it to be a save?
I don't even know anymore. Well, here's Spain. He's flied out to the left. He's reached on an error, scored, hit by a pitch and scored. He looks at ball 1.
He was their leadoff, correct?
Yes.
He's hit the ball hard today.
Yes.
He's done really well.
And Hunter Houston kicks and fires. And that's a ball 2.
Ready left side, ready left side. West will get a little bit.
Houston, the righty, kicks and fires for Greenwood. This one's up in the air and fouled out of play. Strike 1 to Axel Spain.
And credit.
He hit it hard in the first game, too, guys.
He did. And Hunter's getting better at making adjustments quicker. We saw when he got into where he was walking people, he wasn't making the adjustments fast enough. But, he was pulling glove side there, made the adjustment, see if he can do it this pitch. Nope.
That one's low, 3-1.
Chin to mid. Hey, chin to mid. Reach in there.
Greenwood leading 11-5. Good pitch right down Broadway. Looked like Spain might have been taken all the way. That was fat right in the split the plate.
It looks smooth, and sometimes smooth is fast.
Yep. Full count. Here it comes from Hunter Houston. Got him, same spot, a backwards K. Wow, action from Hunter Houston.
Well, to do that to Spain, who's been one of their best hitters
Yep.
of the day,
Impressive.
that ball had to be painting the black for him not to swing at it.
Well, here's Brogan now. He's been a dandy for him today as well. He singled, he walked, scored a run, struck out in the 5th. And right-handed bat. And Houston kicks and fires. A little low.
he went to
Home plate blue said he wanted to call strike ball uptown. What do you call that? Do the hokey pokey.
Oh, boy.
Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2-0.
All around above. Chin to mid. Chin to mid.
Triple H up on top for Greenwood. He's behind the glove. He likes the sign. He will kick and fire. That's in there for... I'm not sure where that's at. Had to be outside. 3-0 now to Brogan. Strike. I've learned to take my time when calling balls and strikes because some umps are just real...
You haven't learned.
Oh, swinging them. That's a strike. Swing and a miss.
And
Full count
I
now.
only say you haven't learned because we have this conversation all the time. And then you say you've learned by then, but then you'll revert back.
Sometimes. Hey, got him on 3 pitches. Wow, Triple H bringing the heat. He's struck out 3 in a row back to the last inning. And his Noah Likings is the last chance for the Airedales here as Hunter Houston is spot on so far here these last inning in the 2/3.
Well, you talk about, he was down 3-0 in that count and then battled his way back.
Now he's just throwing gas right down the middle. Likens watch strike 1.
But being an athlete, a quarterback, he can repeat a motion. He's figured out a motion that works. He's not throwing anything but fastballs. He's just chunking it.
Absolutely. And there's a chopper towards Petty. Oh, he just got between hops. Wasn't sure to charge or not. And it'll go through into to right field. And he'll reach on the air. Here's Easton Daly. He wanted to wait on it, Keith, and he thought, well, it's going to be a bang-banger there, so I'm going to go charge it, but then he got between hops. It's a tough play.
And you just can't change your mind.
Yep.
He would have been right the first time if he stayed back, and Hunter would have been there and he gets it. But if he would have come first the first time,
that's right.
He'd have got it on the short hop and it'd been fine. You just can't change your mind.
That's exactly right. Here's the Easton Daly.
And they got to play him deep. He's hit the ball hard.
Yes. He's got a 1-ball count now. He's flied out to short, center, and left.
He's probably hit it 700 feet today.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, just in this game.
Houston's on top. Double check for the runner, and he'll come home with the 1-0. Fastball in there for a called strike. I like what you said, Keith. He's got comfortable with the motion, and he stayed with it, just repeating it Wonder if Hunter can throw Bago or not. I'd like to see him with a Bago game. A repeat of motion. Probably a good bowler. Here's the 1-1. It's upstairs. And they threw down to first, nobody there. Or tried, but he got in safely, did Likens. 2-1 the count to Easton Daly. The last hope for the Airedales here in the bottom of the 7th. Greenwood leading 11-5, trying to sweep and stand alone atop the 5A West. That's in there for a called strike. 2-2 now, 1 strike away. I don't think Daly liked it. Right-handed batting freshman. This kid's got a big future. And Houston's up on top. And he will kick and fire. Fastball got him swinging. And Hunter Houston strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th. And the Bulldogs win 11-5 here in the nightcap. And they sweep the Alma Airedales on the road. And they stand alone atop the 5A West. Undefeated 12-0 in the maiden voyage for Coach Brandon Brewer. And these Bulldogs are red hot as they get close to the postseason. Wow, what a ball game. Couple of them tonight for Greenwood, guys.
I'll let you talk first. I mean, I'm just proud of everybody the way we played.
Yeah, and in this game for sure, dropped down 3-0 at the beginning of the ball game. The first inning, gave up 3 and continued to battle back. Left some runners on, continued to overcome adversity, and then the big 5th inning, I guess it was, with 8 runs and able to establish what they have been doing, and that's been able to put the ball in play and to get some offense going. And Greenwood was able to take advantage of some opportunities. Obviously, the hit by pitches were big in that inning, and to score 8 runs with 2 outs. But the most important thing is you win both games and you set up a big series next week at Greenwood when Greenbrier comes to town.
Well, and to me, this journey has been fun to watch because we talked about at the first of the year where we were. We were bad at base running, our errors. We weren't hitting consistently. And you guys have both watched almost every game to where we've gotten better. This game, this series today was won the first half of the season, the things we went through, the things we did to fix the things we did bad. And whether we win or lose at Greenbrier Tuesday, it'll be effective this journey the entire season. It's been fun to watch. I'm proud of the guys. Tim, what do you think?
Well, just a great win. And, you know, Keith, you said something I think early in game 1 when your son got a ball deep in the hole and held on to it instead of trying to forcing a throw, maybe throwing it away in an early error. And that really meant something. I thought, that just shows you that the guys are learning. Coach Brewer's getting his point across, and it certainly makes a big difference. Just the little things, all the little things like that. And they kept grinding. You can see they're confident at the plate. The pitching as well. Carnes was shaky at first, but finally settled in. Started bringing heat. Hunter Houston, if he can keep this momentum going with what we saw Mitchell do Friday night on the mound, now you've got 4 pitchers. You got Pettigrew, who's still there. We haven't really seen him. He can certainly bring it. So you're just loading up your bullpen, and don't forget the Moore kid as well. So you're just getting everything is getting ready for the postseason and to win 4 games in May. That's the whole key we're looking for. Huge sweep tonight. Like we've talked about how pesky these Airedales are and have been with some of our best teams we've ever had, and come out of here with a split. But a good sweep tonight. You take over first place, and with Greenbrier losing, so it'll be a huge one next Tuesday. And y'all want to come out and get out to Greenwood and watch that ball game.
Now I'm going to ask you this right now: are you happy with a split? Are you shooting for a split, or do you just want to?
No, you're going for it. You want to be undefeated, right. And obviously, if you get the split, you're going to be the conference champion, the 1 seed either way. But you want to take care of business. You want to see good hitting against their ace because the Greenbrier's pitcher is their guy, maybe the best in the conference. We need to see good hitting against that ace in that first game, and then you'll get a lot more confidence going into the postseason.
Because your reputation is worth 1 or 2 runs a game.
That's right.
If you can beat their ace, sweep them, to me that's you're ahead of the game when you get into the state tournament. Now everybody's like, well, this is the team to beat. You have to play perfect to beat this team. You have to pitch perfect. And it just puts so much pressure. It's worth 1 or 2 runs a game. So I'm with you. I think we should just go. Why don't we just go out and sweep them?
Doc Smith, got anything to throw in there?
It's just a good night for the Bulldogs. Softball won both their games, 15-0 in both of their games. So big opportunities ahead for, obviously, the Bulldogs and Greenbrier as they come to town, baseball and softball next week. baseball senior night. Softball will still determine. They may have senior night this week depending on the weather.
Yep. Okay.
But quality wins. Good job by the Bulldogs to do what they were supposed to do here and advance and sole possession of first place.
Always good to come over and get a sweep of the Airedales baseball and softball. We want to thank our sponsors. Tonight's game sponsored in part by Ronnie Terry Roofing and Construction. Licensed and insured 479-831-9309 since 1978. Ronnie, a 1972 member of that 72 finals team for the Greenwood Bulldogs. 479-831-9309. Midwest Mariucci of Arkansas. Appreciate their sponsors of all helping the Greenwood baseball program. Ducks Body Shop, our Grand Slam sponsors. Ducks Body Shop, they love big hits when it comes to Bulldogs baseball, but not when it comes to your vehicle. When you get an accident, call Ducks Body Shop in Mansfield, the place to go to get your ride looking right. 479-928-5516. And West Fraser Lumber, the Travis family appreciate West Fraser Lumber in Mansfield, proud to support Greenwood Bulldog Athletics. Want to thank Top Notch Roofing, Scott N. Branton Architects, MSG Waste Services, Heath Borum, Craig Gigrich, State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Richard Hosley at J&H Automation Engineering, Ty and Laura Adams, Adams Health and Wellness, and Miss Crystal Moore over at ABC Signs and Printings. Appreciate all of our Grand Slam sponsors down the line. Well, appreciate Sean Holland for engineering, directing tonight's ball game on the live stream. Joey Buffkin doing the Lord's work out on the center field camera. We sure appreciate all those guys do for Greenwood Athletics. Miss Lissa made me sound so good back at the station on Greenwood Road as Dr. Smith and Keith Holt and I brought you tonight's action. I hope you appreciate it. We sure had a lot of fun. The Bulldogs sweep the Airedales tonight and move into sole possession of first place in the 5A West, undefeated now, and the Bulldogs move to 18-5 on the year, 12-0 in conference. Airedales dropped to 7-17 and 4-8 in conference. Well, you've been watching on YouTube at Greenwood Sports Center and listening live on your home for local sports in the Western Arkansas corridor. Fox Sports Radio, the Sports Hog, 103.5.